That's it. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the actual culture. And of course, we are hosted by the absolute best. Please, everyone, introduce yourselves.
You caught me off guard. I thought he was going to tell them to subscribe.
No, I do that afterwards because I don't really like breaking the flow.
Okay. Well, you know what it is. Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Happy Monday, people.
Oh, that's cheery. We love that.
Yeah, very cheery. It's the Shade Queen, Mountain Royalty.
Yo, beautiful people, it's Koi defending your right to pick the bridesmaid that is the most professional rather than the one you're closest to.
Don't do that.
Not bridesmaid, maid of honor. Maid of honor.
I had a conversation like this on Saturday.
Because I've been connected with the people. Can I just say this does not connect to my friendship group? I love you guys. Amen.
No, but that is a very important message.
If the wedding
must
day
do it.
is...
Why did you say it then?
Pardon?
It must do it. Why did you say it?
Because I'm defending people's right to have choices.
But what?
And we're going to go
what
into
inspired
Wayne
that?
versus Roe. Huh?
What inspired?
Okay. Okay, well, let's let my man... I'll jump into
He's
it.
He's sick of it. You're so annoying.
Not my man. So you're my man.
Let the you in the corner.
Allah. It's your boy Big Man Use, aka my man, aka the Oracle, Voice of Reason, rotations, all of that, and the man underneath the lights.
Come on.
Bare lights. Yeah.
Come on. All right then, so we can... Emman, we'll come back to you. So basically, yeah, I was watching something and a woman was like, she was getting married and the woman was getting really, really... Oh, I watched Killing Eve. I don't know if you guys have watched that. But anyway, the woman was getting really, really stressed about her wedding day. And someone who's that intense about her wedding day, it wasn't normal intense. It was like bridezilla on cocaine. It was like she was crying every day, all of that stuff. I was like, I think the safest thing for you is to just pick the person that's the most sensible rather than your closest friend, if your closest friend can't do up the duties.
Oh, she was crying because... What, she was crying because... Like,
everything was going wrong. Yeah, everything was going wrong.
Okay, and her maid of honor wasn't supporting it.
Her maid of honor was just like, wasn't as on it as like...
She should have been.
I think she was doing a good job, but the woman needed somebody who was going to sleep with her every night until the wedding day, like kind of that involved, you know what I mean? And I was like, in those kind of situations, don't stress yourself out.
Do you know what's interesting? Because I had a conversation as well on Saturday. I never really got into my trip to Nigeria, but... listen to No Shade podcast, I got into it there. I don't think this is the platform. But, right, I was saying how people don't understand what it is to be a bridesmaid and that it's a serious role. And I think I see it as like how you being someone's godparent. I think a lot of things to people is just something cool to say.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be someone, you're a bridesmaid or maid of honor or whatever, but for you, you're more concerned about how you look and how your hair's going to be on that day and all these things. And the bride is stressing out about stuff that you should be supporting her with.
It's just way more intense than... And also, this is not just maid of honor. I think groomsmen as well. Like, if you have a groomsman, your best friend is just not someone that you can trust with the rings and the responsibility.
Yeah.
Do you think you should make them the groomsmen? Can't you just explain it? Or make a new title. I'm going to make hella titles up.
Screaming.
I'm going to make hella titles up.
I can see that.
I am. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be meaningful. And it's going to be unique to each bridesmaid.
Respectfully, I'm going to fire people.
I can see that.
If
I ain't going to hire
you're a
someone I can't
bridesmaid,
trust, to be fair.
yeah, because if you're a bridesmaid and you now think you are the bride, you've got to go. I think people need to get to the point. I told you what to reference. I just think, that some people have main character energy, and I've heard too many stories recently of bridesmaids thinking that the day's about them. So I respectfully, and I don't think it has to be the end of the friendship. I just think that you're a good friend in other areas of my life. But when it comes to my wedding, you're not really someone... I don't need this energy around my wedding day. So I don't think people should take offense to being fired or if you're not picked.
I can hear you saying people shouldn't.
What are the duties of the bridesmaid?
So a bridesmaid, essentially, you're there to kind of support the bride with stuff to do the wedding, right? I believe that. I think that... Not even I think... Yeah, so basically your main thing is to be there, be a friend, be a support system for the bride, literally help. Like, stuff is gonna be stressful or whatever with the wedding, but be that support system. Check in, ask, how's stuff going? How's this? What can I do to help? Be proactive in the role, not just sort out your dress, your hairstyle, your makeup artist, and then take a back seat and chill.
You're meant to minimize stress for her. Your job is to make sure that she actually enjoys the wedding because all the pressure's on her.
Yeah.
So like even if it's little surprises through the day, a getaway, if things are getting on top, there when she's crying, there
Well,
in the
people not been
trenches.
checking in whether the bride is eating. Like just simple things like that. Like, are you okay? Do you need a drink?
Yeah.
Like simple things like that makes a difference.
But I think as you grow up, you realize all these titles are like super intensive. Like they're not the cute, funny, we are friends so we know each other's. Like it's a different, you can actually be dealing with your friend, a version of your friend you've never seen before when it comes to a wedding day. So I think a lot of people are overwhelmed. But in terms of groomsmen, like, do you guys feel like if you're, I don't know who your tightest friend is, or who you would have as a groomsman, but if they are like somebody who's notoriously known for being late, messing up, all of that stuff, what are you doing? Are you going to pick him or are you going to pick a more sensible friend?
I would probably pick the friend that I'm closest to as opposed to the friend who is the best for the role. But after hearing you guys talk, I'm trying to reconsider that.
This one.
You know what I mean?
But if your closest friend was those qualities, that not like late and...
Then I'll be apprehensive because I'll be worried that he's gonna fuck up.
Here's my thing. I actually think, personally for me, I think go with the clothes. I feel go with because it's about the memories and that.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
You know that someone's gonna get fired.
No, it is.
I will fire your ass.
Sentiment will be lost if you don't hire your bestie.
No, but I'm not gonna like go and hire.
What does a groomman have to do? Just look after the ring and set up stag do. That's it, innit?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Little
I
speech
feel
of
like
that
men have less pressure. Groomsmen have less pressure than bridesmaids do, I would say. Because with groomsmen, like the situation, like case studies I have, they've been chilling. Even the groom is chilling. But somehow on the day, they have everything. Everything is sorted out. Like guys don't get the suit until like a month before. Their shoes, they're not sure. Like they're just vibing. They use a group chat as like a normal boys group chat. But then on the wedding day, always the most organized. They're all in sync. They know what to do.
I think the guys, we have less prep in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, I get that you have less prep.
Suit,
but
shoes,
haircut.
make sure that
but the
Rolls
ring, like
Royce
if they mess up on one
higher
thing
than time,
though,
you get
it's
me?
a serious thing they usually mess up on.
What's
like
that?
if they mess up on one thing, it's a serious thing they mess up
They
on.
lose the ring. They
As
lose
in
the
lose the
groom.
ring, done. Lose the groom, done. Stag do's not done properly, done. Like these are big. These are big things that if they mess up on your days, you're gonna have to remember that on the day kind of thing. Whereas with the bridesmaid, wear the wrong dress. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
or just be bad vibes.
Bad vibes is really the biggest crime.
Bad vibes is the
I
biggest
think.
crime.
Yeah.
Would you take offense if a friend you consider close didn't ask you to be a bridesmaid?
Nah. Okay, so I don't want to put this into the universe, because I think all my friends are the responsible one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all my friends, like that I'm close with, are like they have other skills that I don't always have, kind of thing. So, but I just wouldn't allow myself to let them out. But your question was, if they didn't pick me up, I would have to firm it. But you don't know I'm side petty though, innit? So like, so
well, they say if anyone has anything to say, you'd be like,
so first of all, she ain't even your real friend. Remember when she said she's gonna fuck your man? I don't know. Would I be hurt? I think you have to choose who you're gonna be hurt by. There's certain friends that if they didn't pick me, I would get it. There's certain ones that I'm coming and running. Like I would be, if I'm surprised I wasn't picked, then it might come out in other ways.
Yeah.
I got a quick question, yeah? Would you, as a bride, be offended if a guest or even a friend of someone wore white as well?
I mean, first of all, you never outshine me on my wedding day.
Yeah, no.
The glory of the Lord is on me
Amen.
as the bride.
Yeah.
Amen.
But where are you going with that?
Reason why I asked because a couple of years back, I went to a wedding, right? And it was a family wedding, as in it was my cousin getting married.
Yeah.
And his wife took offense to my cousin's wife wearing white.
Did they like each other?
It wasn't intentional.
Okay.
I don't think she done it with any. Well, I don't think she didn't do it with any malice. I think maybe she didn't know the rule.
I think she sent the
you know what I mean?
message.
I just think that's
it's a universal rule. You don't wear white, so
I'm not gonna lie.
Wedding.
I'm telling you, she didn't know.
Oh, well, then she
She didn't know, but the bride took offense to that.
How could she not know?
Yeah, how could she not know?
She didn't know.
Even Margs knows.
I know.
And he
No,
don't even
I'm
like
telling
weddings.
and also, it wasn't like she was wearing like some mad dress. It was just a white outfit, really.
Yeah, but how could she not know that? Why do you believe she didn't
She
know?
must have been so embarrassed.
Because she's a nice person.
Yeah, why do you believe she didn't know?
Are you fucking her?
Oh.
No, I'm
What?
joking.
Wait,
No,
what?
no.
Nah, this is what you did to Emman. It's payback time. This is what you did to Emman. So
My
you
cousin's
can't.
wife.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Guys,
Nah.
I'm in my functions.
This is crazy.
But I just spiced it up. Go ahead.
But tell me she was awake on the Monday.
I'm not gonna lie. You were the oracle. You should have saw that coming. I don't know.
Where is this going? Why do I believe her? Because, you know what it is? No, I believe her because of what she was wearing.
It wasn't a
What was
banging
I
outfit.
saying?
It was a shit outfit.
No, you know what? Let's move on.
No. Sorry, I need to get to the bottom of this.
No, what she was wearing wasn't like you could tell she didn't try to come to steal the day. She just wore white.
What a par. What
So,
a par.
If you're, I'm
Should
gonna
I
say-
have brought up this story?
No.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. But it's too late. You're in and
That's
out.
what I'm
If
questioning.
you're gonna wear white to my wedding,
Hopefully no one
you
from my
better make
family
sure.
is listening to this right now.
He said, hopefully none of them
Because y'all
support me.
gonna know who
I'm
I'm talking
gonna
about.
drop in the DMs. I just think if you're gonna wear white to my wedding, you better at least show up and show out.
My thing is that the person,
So
if
I
I
can walk
truly
you out.
believe everything you said about this
Yeah.
person, she must have been mortified. Like, she must have been so, no? Okay, anyway. So anyway.
No, Yusuf.
What?
She wasn't mortified.
She wasn't mortified that she did that.
She just was like,
I wasn't in her head. I'm not sure.
Did she
if
apologise?
was mortified. It turned into a whole thing.
Nah, you can't wear
she
white
did
to
on
my wedding.
purpose.
She did on purpose.
She did on purpose.
she didn't
Trust
on
me,
purpose. No, I'm
Yusuf.
telling you, she didn't on purpose.
Yusuf, everybody
She didn't.
knows.
No, she didn't on purpose.
Everybody knows you don't wear white to
Yusuf.
someone's
She didn't do it on
wedding.
purpose.
Yusuf,
I'm
you're being
telling you.
naive.
I'm telling you.
Nah, she didn't do it on purpose. Because
Do you know what it is that as well?
What's her motivation?
You don't know
but
the
do you know what it is?
motivation, but there's motivation, bro. She
Just
knew.
because you don't rate the outfit, don't mean that's not her
I didn't
best
say
day.
anything with the
she was
outfit.
killing
I
it.
didn't
You had
say
to.
anything with the outfit.
But you
Said
saying
it,
she
not so
didn't
many
show
words.
remorse and she was beefing as well.
No, she definitely apologized for sure. But what I'm saying is the actions of the bride made it hard for her to really be remorseful because
But she's the bride. She
you're
has the
coming
right
out
to
with.
be.
No, hear me out. Just to say,
He said, let me defend my family's honor.
that's what I'm saying. Let me defend them. Stand up. She was remorseful, yeah, but because she was being attacked so viciously, she's like, you know what? I got to stand up for myself because
Okay.
this wasn't intentional.
And now you got me wrong and
I'm
strong.
sorry, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
man are really trying to come at me. So let me
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
And how's the relationship now?
What's next?
She's never actually cook out.
Every day we learn a bit more about Yusuf and his family, and I love it. You should be Yusuf the family man. That's what you should be. That should be the only intro.
New AKA family man.
But yes. Anyway, that was why I just think
That's
if
interesting.
it's that important to you, then you need to make the rules fit you. And so
Yeah.
if it's that important to you, pick the bridesmaid that you know is going to deliver, and then you can give your closest friend another thing.
If your friend gave you, she made your bridesmaid, but she had like a guidebook or like not like a contract.
That would
but-
be helpful. to
Would
me.
it?
That would be helpful to me.
'Cause I feel like,
Because
okay.
you can make it cute, put some sprinkles, some glitter on it, so it doesn't feel like I'm being told what to do because I got a bit of that.
Mm,
But yeah, no, that would help me. Listen, it's your
might do
friend.
that.
You want to make them happy.
Yeah.
Like, if my friend asked me to be her bridesmaid, first of all, you lot already know my time management. I'm sleeping under her bed. Like, all my friends have said, Coy, you're sleeping in the hotel room.
You need to get to
with
the
me."
hotel 2 days
there's,
before.
there's no way, amen, I'm going to let any of these queens down.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah.
possible.
That'd
so
be deep,
even
man.
like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like know your friend. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And your friends should know themselves as well. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Anyway, that was my how to fuck it up, defending people's rights and that. But guys, let's jump into the very first headline. All right.
Screaming.
Parents demand legal right to view school lesson plans after removing their daughter from a London secondary school over fears that she was being indoctrinated by classes on white privilege and gender. So yeah, just so you guys know, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to this, innit? So be keeping your thoughts, yeah? But let me tell you everything that's happening. A mother is fighting for the legal right of a parent to view school lesson plans after being shocked about how her daughter spoke about white privilege and gender. Claire Page plans to remove her daughter from Haberdashers' Hatcham College in South East London. I love that school.
I know that's
After her request to view some of the class materials was rejected, with staff saying that they were commercially sensitive. Miss Page said she fears her daughter was being indoctrinated and that white pupils are being told that they are privileged simply because of their skin color. Over the past 3 years, she and her husband have become increasingly concerned about the school with academic status that has been rated good by Ofsted. The state secondary school used to be known as Haberdashers' Ask Hatcham College, but dropped the name of the 17th century benefactor, Robert Ask, because of his links to slave trade. Most of its 1,400 pupils are from Black or from ethnic minority backgrounds, while 17% are white. So that's about 238 students. Currently, parents are allowed to see a lesson plan, but the school is not legally obliged to provide it. Miss Page has written to the Information Commissioner's Office about the issue. I'm speaking out because I think this is such an important issue. Page told the Times, parents have a right to know what is being taught to their children and to expect that opinions and theories will not be presented to them as if they are fact. So guys, I really want to jump into the topic of the day. So can we do that?
Let's do that.
All right, guys, what are your initial thoughts on that? I feel like this is going to split the room.
My initial thoughts are, do I believe that parents should be privy to lesson plans? I don't see no issue with that, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't see no reason why teachers should hide their lesson plans unless they have something to hide.
Mm.
So I definitely feel like parents should be privy to it. It is extra work for teachers, to be fair, but if you, as a parent, you feel like your son or daughter is being taught something that maybe of issue to you, I see no issue with challenging it, to be fair.
But you know what it is though? You can ask to see the lesson plan, but what happens if you don't have something in there? You can't opt your child out of it because the curriculum is like a countrywide thing.
Yeah, if it's in
And
the
then-
syllabus, then it's
But-
Yes, syllabus, but then also, exams and stuff.
Yeah.
But your child going to skip the question
Yeah, but those
because they didn't
things,
sit in those
in the-
classes.
those things in the syllabus are fact, right? I think the issue here was when the teacher is driving what is an opinion as fact, right?
Here's my
Well, it
thing.
depends, because how do you can massage that? Like, what do you mean they're fact?
As in, in this,
Like discrimination and stuff like that is stuff that happened, is a matter of fact. But then the way you deliver the information or the way you package it and message it is not gonna. It's not necessarily. Don't have to be factual like that, innit? If that's what they're saying, innit? If that's what she's saying about the way that they're presenting the information, like they're saying like the kids, the white kids, are privileged simply because of their skin.
Yeah.
Which is not true. It's because of things that have happened in it. So it can't.
Well,
I think it depends on the subject at hand, to be fair, but I hear you.
I kind of feel like this, what I took from this is that white people show me how tolerant black people are, because for a very long time we were taught Christopher Columbus was our friend.
Yeah.
Like we were taught so many things that were like kind of detrimental to how we view ourselves if you really read into it. And nobody complained, right? Like none of us complained. So it's funny to me how in this last, let's say white privilege has been a term, let's say the last 7 years, that and I think she's allowed to feel how she feels, because ultimately not every white person is rich. And if that's your understanding of what privilege is, I get it. She's allowed to have a thought in it. But I just feel like for her to go and write to the commissioner, I already feel like the reason why the teachers didn't give her the school plans is probably because she went on smoke. Because if they are giving it out, I could just imagine that, you know, Mrs. Davison said, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to give it to you because you look like you're doing a lot right now.
Yeah.
Haberdasher School is majority black school. It reminds me a lot of my secondary school as well.
What school do you go to?
Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know, I shared that.
Sacred Hearts.
Sacred Heart, yeah.
I always think that who comes up with the school names, but that's interesting.
I think it's a Catholic, it's a Catholic school.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, maths got out. But so ultimately, I just kind of feel like there are so many different takes on this. I personally want to know my school plan, my kids' school plan. I have such a bad view of the education system. I'm great that it's free and all of that, but I don't think they teach the best things. I don't think the modules make the most sense all the time. So I would be super heavily involved. But I always thought to myself, I think the idea is that you take them out of those traditional schools and put them into a school that's a little bit more in line with what your beliefs are. And there's not that many options in this country to do that, realistically.
Also,
So,
what subject is this?
I don't know. Imagine it was maths.
I mean, because obviously,
It's probably like
obviously,
PSHE or something like that.
science is science, maths is maths. There's no
Yeah.
discrepancies there.
Yeah,
Innit?
yeah.
English is English to a degree.
It might be
but
history.
Religious studies. No,
what
not
subject
religious
is
studies.
this? Where
Probably history.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
reckon
yeah,
it's
yeah,
history.
okay.
Because I think I would get like, obviously I get it. Parents who are active in the kids' life and want to, you know, see the school plans, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's great. I hope my husband can pick that up because I'm going to have it. But I get in like, but again, it's for me, it's that whole thing of this is the syllabus that everyone's is rocking with, basically. And the exams and whatever is going to be that. So I can't opt, because I think where schools can show the parents, what happens when you don't like it, then you're going to kick up a fuss. I feel like if parents are now allowed to opt their kids out of certain information they don't want them to learn, something like history, I mean, this might be history, but imagine something like, I don't know, about you know how like with history, it's kind of manipulated to show Europe in its best light, right? A black parent might be like, do you know what, that's not the truth. I don't want my child learning all that stuff, being brainwashed by all that stuff. Now we're starting to opt kids. I just think it's a lot of confusion. I guess I can understand like stuff like PSHE, you know, that whole, I can get that because I get that. That is more
opinion-based discussion.
It's more opinion-based discussion. I think with that, it's easier to opt your child out of that than it is a curriculum. I think what maybe needs to happen is maybe parents. No, because you're not even get a board of parents to approve curriculums and stuff.
But the thing is, I'm not looking at it as the parent is not happy with this particular subject or curriculum. It's more for me, this particular teacher's agenda and take on this topic. So let's just say the teacher has an agenda. Teacher's racist or colorist or whatever, or teacher's a white supremacist. And they've taken this curriculum, but they're teaching it in a way that best suits their agenda. So I'm fine with the curriculum, but this Mr. Smith, I don't like his ethos. Seems he's some type of way. That's how I'm kind of seeing it.
So that sounds about right. That's probably what it will be, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so with this young lady, she's obviously gone to school that's majority black. Yeah, I kind of feel like this isn't just rooted in the curriculum. I think if you're surrounded by black people who have got to a stage where they're having these conversations and you sympathize with it, and she's gone home and be like, "Mom, do you know what? We actually are quite privileged because of blah 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 blah." Really think about the two people that are speaking. You're speaking this 14-year-old. I'm just guessing her age. 14-year-old black girl. Not white. Sorry, not black girl. White girl who is immersed in black sentiment and culture and stuff like that, and doesn't feel threatened by it. So she's like, yo, actually, yeah, we do have a lot of privileges. Talking to her mum, who she might be working a middle class, a normal job or whatever, thinking, I'm not privileged. That's the conversation we have every day. Like, they're both allowed to have their take. I think this is quite a strong reaction from the mum in terms of your daughter might just have a different point of view to you. Like, that's what it is. Like, because you get taught stuff all the time in school. Doesn't mean you take it on. I feel like the daughter's environment, maybe she has like black friends in the school because obviously she's part of the minority here. And I think she just sympathizes with the concept of, yo, black people have had it hard. She goes home and she talks to her parents about it and they're like, yo, we've had it hard. It's just, that happens every day, everywhere. I don't think it's the school's fault. I actually think the school might actually just be presenting the facts. And obviously teachers might be biased. They're going to say things from their point of view. They're not robots. But I feel like this is quite a strong reaction from the mum. I get why she feels that way. She doesn't feel like she's privileged. She's like, why are you making my daughter feel like she's got special treatment when she doesn't? We grew up in the same area as everyone else. But we know what privilege doesn't just mean financially well off. We know that white people do have privilege. And I feel like her daughter has just been educated to see that. And she's gone home and told her mum who doesn't agree. But I don't think this is a school's problem.
Is the child white or black?
I was just about to ask that. Is it definitely a white child?
Because if it's a white child, this is a very cheeky thing to do.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, white child.
Yeah.
So, but they do have privilege.
Yeah, but even if it was a black kid, why would the parent be that passionate about the black kid?
Because I thought, when you were talking, I thought, oh, so maybe it's a black kid and the teacher told the child has got privilege and the parents are thinking, whoa, like,
no, but it says
my
white
child
privilege.
Headphones. True.
No, she doesn't need headphones. Fuck this guy.
Then I think you should stay behind the scenes.
Don't use me for your agenda, king.
No, he doesn't. He was ready to tell me that. But
yeah, whites have privilege, but I don't think white children should be taught that they have privilege.
Then when they're gonna learn?
Why should they be
I missed the trick. I thought it was
we were having different conversations.
Yeah, I thought
that's
it
what
was
I'm doing headphones. I could hear her clearly.
No, I thought it was like a black child or something, and they was not happy with the way that they was discussing white privilege.
My examples in my head have been about black kids, but I knew this was about white kids. But I've been talking from the perspective of a black parent.
I thought it was a black kid.
Why?
That was talking about white
because
privilege.
Because I'm trying to relate to me.
Yeah.
No, but I get this.
This oracle is fucked up. I know you can't see nothing.
But also.
Okay, so it's a white parent and she's upset.
Yeah, she's upset that her white kid who's in a school with majority black people is coming home and talking about, Mum, we have white privilege.
But she does.
Yeah, but...
When you know we're doing up your talk, I said,
yeah, but okay, cool.
You know what, sounding hella microchippy.
Do you think white privilege is a good thing? As in...
Don't do that. Of course I don't
white people should be taught that you have privilege, use it. Like, that's...
No, but it's not that they should be taught that, but life will make them realise that they do have that. But I think the moment... I don't know the message of this teacher, but I think the teacher saying you got white privilege...
Yeah.
Just because you got white privilege doesn't mean that you should act in that light.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's a healthy conversation to have.
Well, from even what the signs of it, especially if it's a white parent now, I think what she's saying is she's obviously aware that white privilege exists. I think it's the reason why it exists, or if that makes sense, that she's not comfortable with what they're telling the kids, if that makes sense.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I think I'm lost. Is this teacher telling this child not to use their white privilege?
I think I can imagine a Karen arguing against that.
And then the mum's taking issue with that.
Yeah, like
I can imagine a Karen doing that.
I think this is so. Let's take you there. What's your sentence?
Take me there.
I will, sir. All right. So she's in class. Yeah. Her best friend Lola, other friend Taniqua, all of them are like they're in history lesson and they're learning about the history of stuff and why we're in this state. Yeah. And all her friends that she cares about all saying it's true. So she's now like, yo,
do you know what?
This is a piss take. Like this is mad. Whatever. So she went home, as you do, and talk to her mum and be like, Mum, you know, we have quite a lot of white privilege. The mum who works as a nurse or whatever is thinking, I'm not some rich person who's benefiting off black people. I've never been racist. I've never done something wrong. So what are you talking about? We don't have white privilege. Who taught you that? Well, I learned it in history. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like my friends, you know, a lot of people. So she's going to the school now saying, what history lesson taught my daughter this? Because my daughter is not racist. And you know, there are some terms that get white people's backs up. Racism, white privilege, all of these things. Because they're like,
Do you know what? Yeah, I've got 2 points. First point, yeah, it sounds like the mom needs to go back to school because, ma'am, you do have white privilege. But whether you see or not, your white skin does give you some kind of privilege.
But that shouldn't be taught though.
2.
So when is it going to be learned?
But it's reality.
Why should they learn it?
So they can go into society and not act in such a manner, not act. What's it called?
It's to make them aware of their biases
Entitled.
early.
Yeah.
No. I think because look, she says she fears that her daughter was being indoctrinated and that white peoples are being told they are privileged simply because of the colour of their
It's
skin.
giving Tasha.
It's giving Karen.
I think what she's trying to say is that like you're gonna make my kids think that they're better than people just because they're white or things like that.
No,
She's saying that's not the case. It's not just. Like, the privilege ain't there just because you've got white skin. It's the fact that the people with the white skin put the things in place and now you're benefiting from it. It's not just like a natural thing.
No, but you know what it is that I don't think...
Am I making sense what I'm saying?
No, you are, yeah, but I don't think as a teacher in a school that's predominantly black is going to tell the white girl, you have privilege, you go forth into the world and use that privilege.
Yeah, no, I think the issue at the beginning... I love this point. I think the issue at the beginning is that everyone thought that we were talking about a black kid. Well, you guys thought that a black kid was what was being spoken about, but it's a white kid. And I think it's just, this happens everywhere. Anytime you have a conversation about white privilege, some people sympathize and understand it, and some people are like, nah, that's not my struggle, and you're not going to make me feel guilty about something that's not my own. And I think that says a lack of information on the mum's point of view, really. But if she takes her daughter out of school, that's fine. But I don't know what school isn't teaching black history. Like, do you know what I mean? This is going to come up everywhere. So...
Let's go to number 3, please.
Number 3, what do you mean?
Is white privilege a theory or fact, and should it be taught within the classroom? I feel like you two feel like it should be. Or am I wrong?
I think white privilege is a fact.
Yeah. No.
And
I think
in terms of how it should be taught in classrooms, I think it should be... Here's the thing. It could become to a place where it's persecutory. Like where... You know how kids are in school as well, innit? So it's like...
Yeah.
Oh, you see, it can get there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think it just needs to be explained so that people can be aware of it. You can't really undo white privilege without changing the whole system.
I don't think it needs to even be spoken about.
You don't think?
Not in a direct way. I think if you're talking about, British history and whatnot, yeah, read between the lines, big man. But I don't think it needs to be direct. Like, the topic of today, kids, is white privilege. All right, turn to chapter... I mean, I don't think it has to be
But
that.
white privilege explains... It's the explanation for so many historical situations. Like, it's the reason why we've only had one, America, why they've only had one black president. It's the reason why we don't have a black PM. It's the reason why you could be in a South London school with tons of black people, but the head teacher might not be black. It's a reason for so many things.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just don't think it needs to be taught so directly and blatantly. I think white privilege, to me, maybe I'm talking from my perspective, innit? It's just so obvious. I don't think it needs to be taught to
But
kids.
it's not, because it's only a term that I think at the beginning of your life, the term white privilege wasn't even a thing. Like, it had to be explained to us. There was a reason. Why is life so unfair? Like, we needed a word for it.
So, example, I wasn't taught about white privilege in school. I just learned through life.
But don't you think the
existed.
term validates it, though? Because before then, it was just work harder, work twice as hard, work twice as hard.
Yeah.
No explanation why.
Yeah.
Like, just your life is intrinsically more difficult because you're black. And I'm not saying knowing the word makes that go away.
Yeah.
But I think rather than young black people just thinking, why is it that the police is always stopping me? Why is it that when me and this other guy are fight in like a public place, the police come and push me up against the wall?
Yeah.
It's super important to be educated on your environment. And
my issue is, I think my issue is white privilege reinforces the fact that society sees black people as beneath them. So I think that's my issue.
But you think ignoring that?
I don't think not teaching it is ignoring it. I think white privilege is so obvious. I don't feel not teaching it is like us brushing it under the table for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I didn't have no lessons about white privilege, but it was obvious just in the world, innit? And I feel like putting white privilege on a pedestal in terms of like in the curriculum is almost downplaying black people. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I take issue with the fact that we got to teach this. We got to teach this thing which is an advantage to people who are already at an advantage, big man. Like,
I think the benefits of teaching it.
It sounds as though you believe that he's teaching it for them to basically say, look at how you guys are benefiting, who continue benefiting.
No, not the teacher. I feel like the fact that Esther and Koi feel like it needs to be taught, for me, is like, why do white people need to learn that they have privilege?
Because they don't
realise it. Like,
why should they even realize it? I don't. Why
No,
should we give? Why should we
so
give them
for-
this power that
for-
they already have had for years?
So,
Like, it's
so
already there.
I think what I would say is for the white person who wants to be a better citizen of the world, for the white person that doesn't want to accidentally inherit
Yeah.
all these crimes,
Yeah.
they being aware of the fact that, because if you don't know about it, you don't know. We all have privileges, right?
Yeah.
But like white privilege, before it was a term and for all of that, white people just thought, oh, this is life. Remember that white woman that said, in America, she was talking to like a group of people, some were black, some were white. She was like, if you would want, it was white people only actually. She was like, if you would want to be a black person in America, put your hand up. And no one put their hands up. Like there was this unspoken understanding that the black people's existence was harder. That is what white privilege causes, right? So for those who want to do something about it, knowing that and then being able to either use that to the benefit if they want to be an ally, or being aware of that just so that they can, whatever they want to do with it. But I feel like if you don't know that you have it, you're just going to navigate life just using that against people inadvertently, not even knowing. Do you know what I mean? Not even knowing. Like, I think there was this actress, can't remember her name, and she was just like, I feel like I get these gigs and these roles just because I'm white. And so she didn't put herself up for something.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying every white person should die on the front line, but if you want to be an ally, if you want to whatever, knowing that, I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying if that's what you want to do, now you know that you have a power that can help to do that. You know what I mean?
Give an example of white privilege in the film industry.
Okay. Well, like a white host getting bigger guests on her show. Like,
No, I understand.
So,
what
for
white
example,
privilege
like
is.
with black women, so Viola Davis recently had an interview, and she was talking about basically the kind of roles that she gets tends to be the same kind of roles. Like she doesn't get happy roles. She doesn't get like I've got a lovely family kind of role. We see that a lot when black women tend to have like the happy family where they've got a proper unit, a husband, there's 2 kids, that nice house and fence or whatever. If it's not by Tyler Perry, we hardly ever see that. Do you get me? So that's an example of white privilege in that other white actresses and white actors are able to be versatile in whatever. They can do horror today, they can do romance the next day, they can
Bridget
do crime,
Jones,
they can do drama.
yeah.
But with black women, for example,
You're
black women,
typecasted.
you're typecast. That's what you do. You're gonna do a horror film. You're gonna do that. Do you get me? Even like someone like Daniel Kaluuya, we've seen him in a very happy romantic film. I don't know.
No, Slim.
No, the thing is, I don't
he
need.
knows,
I know what white privilege is.
So that is an example of white privilege in that industry.
no,
So,
I
so
know
if
exactly
white people
what.
didn't know that they had that, like say, so just to bring it back to your point,
Yeah.
if white people knowing about white privilege, means that they question why they automatically only want this particular person. Like for instance, back in the days, Disney Channel, all the main characters were white blonde girls, and then their best friend was an outlandish black loud girl, whatever.
Yeah.
White privilege made them realize, oh, I think this is normal, but this isn't representative of their, like, I get to push this narrative out. So let me challenge that. And so you got more unexpected roles for black girls coming up. If you get what I mean, like it helps them challenge
no, that's not
what
what you
they
guys
actually do.
I get what you guys mean. I think I'm not looking at like a white person's going to do good with this knowledge.
Oh.
I think that's my head stuck in that mode. I don't feel like teaching white people about white privilege means that, okay, cool, I'm aware I have privilege. Let me use my privilege for the better good. I'm looking at like, I'm going to use this to my advantage.
I feel like kind of feel like they might use it for good. I feel like they might.
I'm not saying there's no good people out in the world.
Yeah,
Of course there is,
I know. I'm saying
in totality, I feel like they're not really going to look at, you know what, let me help black people with my white privilege. That's not
it's not so
I'm
much
feeling.
helping black people with your privilege. It's just understanding that, acknowledging that.
Yeah.
Because a lot
Some
of white
do
people
wanna
don't
help.
acknowledge it.
100%.
So is that-
Question, Yusuf.
Mm.
Do you know that black men have privilege over black women?
Yeah.
How?
How?
Yeah, give me some examples. Or just one.
One example of black men having, jobs.
So a black man will get a job quicker than a black woman?
I think that's one example, yeah. Or is that a skewed example?
I'm not sure about that,
Okay.
to be honest. Have you ever heard about a black man having privilege over a black woman in any other context other than jobs?
I think in a lot of spheres of
Just
life,
in life.
black men and women have. Obviously, you can take it back
Even
to
like being susceptible to like
the right to vote, all
racism
that
and
stuff.
discrimination and
Yeah.
stuff like that. As a big black man presenting like that,
Yeah.
they're going to be more intimidated than you than a woman. So
Yeah.
they're going to be more. You know what I'm
With
trying to
the
say?
knowledge that you have certain privileges of a black woman,
Mm.
do you move differently knowing that?
As in, would I try to help my?
Yes.
Of course, because those are my black sisters.
100%.
I'm not looking at it like white people when they help us.
What? Cool. 100%.
I'm just keeping it a buck, innit?
No,
That's not my first. I'm not saying, listen, there's tons of great white people in the world, yes. Do I feel like
Good whites.
good white, sorry. Do I feel like the majority of white people want to use their privilege to help black people? I don't feel that way. That's why I'm like, why do you want to reinforce white privilege to a world which is already extremely driven by white privilege?
So pointing it out is basically showcasing the imbalance. And the ones that don't know about it, they then move differently.
The thing is, we can't say it. Obviously, this is just my opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are talking from a point of view that more white people are good than bad, and they're going to use this to help. I'm looking at it like,
Yeah, but you just want to skew history. You don't want to talk about things that you don't like.
You mean?
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it, but I'm saying why does it have to be taught in school like a curriculum, like white privilege as subject? I mean,
But
because it never really has. Were you taught about white privilege in school in that direct way, like
What, like a subject? Like
like a topic of the day, white privilege?
No, but I was taught about you
So
talk about all that kind of shit.
I feel like you're taught about it indirectly without it being the headline, right?
Mm.
Like you're like slavery.
I said in lights.
It's black and white, innit? Like that's white privilege all over. So I don't need you to tell me like white, like, you know what I mean? I can read slavery is an example of white privilege. Like it's just there, innit? No?
I disagree with you.
Okay.
And I don't want to go in circles and stuff, but like I disagree with you because I feel like labeling something makes it real. Making it real means it can be challenged. I think if somebody came and robbed me, but I didn't know their name, didn't know where they were from, no one can help me. Do you know what I mean? But if I know exactly where he lives and who he is and what he looks like, someone can help. Do you know what I mean? And I think being able to point out white privilege has helped incredibly in the corporate space. Like, because you have a name to describe that experience, that unfair experience you have, you can now challenge it. When you didn't have a name, it could be hidden
As
under...
in for black people, white people?
For black people.
Yeah, for blacks, of course.
I think even black people knowing, like, I think describing white privilege, I think it helps more than it hurts. Because I think white people that care will like watch themselves, check themselves, do you know what I mean? And I think black people will stop feeling like life is just out of their control. Like they now understand, because you say it was taught to you indirectly, but I think that caused a lot of confusion. I think it led to, it being taught indirectly led to this. Black people work twice as hard. It didn't lead to, this isn't how it should be. Something's happening. What's the name of this mystical magic that exists every time I'm in a room with a white person that means that their experience is easier than mine? Do you know what I mean? And I just think describing it, saying it, like he made a fantastic point, and I don't think we really acknowledged it. When you knowing that you get more privilege as a black man means that you actually do things out of your way to help black women. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's some black men that don't, but now there's one more that does because he knows what this is. And if 10% of white people who are in positions of power can understand that something's existing that's hard to put their finger on, they can make changes. And also, not just that, black people now can demand more because they know that this just isn't how it should be. Whereas back in the days, if you talk to your parents, let's just get on with it. This is just what it is. I don't think this generation has that same attitude because they now can identify what the unfairness is other than just racism. Do you know? So that would be
and the fact that they're bad whites that don't like when it is to get pointed out. That's why I like it. That's why I like it.
That I just realised I just read that story properly anyway. The mum was horrified.
Yeah.
Was sick.
It's like, she was absolutely disgusted. She was carrying 100%. And now she wants to take a kid out of school to do what? Like, where are you going to take them that this doesn't exist? This sentiment doesn't exist. I think she just doesn't want her kids over sympathizing.
I think she's one of them ones that's they're like too far gone. I think she's in denial. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? And yeah, she's in denial, and it's just more like just white privilege like presenting itself again. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
This is weird to me because I would expect this in like the Shropshires or whatever, but this is South East London.
Where's the school again?
No, but it's because some of them might be want to care too much, or she's got too much trauma, and then it's displaying itself in kind of sly racism.
Yeah,
already. She's saying that I've got nothing to do with this. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I am straight. I love the blacks. Don't be telling my kid this. White people are cool. You know what I'm trying to say? She's doing all that stuff. She's panicking.
But okay, so I don't agree. But do we understand where she's coming from?
The mum or the teacher?
The mum. Because if she's a white woman
she's got to
who's
suck it
working
up.
as
This
an...
stuff happens. She's being too like.
But this is what I'm
allow
saying.
it.
She's been a
taught-
Karen. That's what white
it-
women do.
it-
White tears.
It taught me, we're going to get to Love Island. It taught me that we are way too tolerant. Do you know how much bullshit we were taught in school growing up and stuff like that? And my mum has never tried to change the education system because of it. So I don't know if my mum's wrong or this woman is just, because I don't understand. You're entitled. This is white privilege to say that, to go to a school and be like, this is indoctrination. Like, yo, no, it's facts.
Well, it is because that's why because they know, because they don't complain for no reason. White people complain for a reason because shit gets done. You get me? It changes when you send emails and shit like that.
Which
things
is white
happen.
privilege.
Yeah, we was taught not to complain, to keep our mouth
Yep.
shut and take what you was given and
Yep.
accept it. And don't make a fuss. You get what I'm trying to say? Don't rock the boat because you get. So
Yeah.
that's white privilege. there.
Imagine the daughter turns around and be like, Mum, you see all this stiff stuff that you're doing, yeah? You know that's white privilege. You just got schooled. Imagine she said that to her daughter. Yeah, she's leaving the daughter at school. But all right then, guys.
Let me throw a spanner in the works before you guys.
Another
continue.
spanner?
Yeah, just one. Because she also mentioned it was white privilege and gender stuff, right? So I'm guessing this particular teacher is looking to, bring in certain social discussions into the mix, right? So we say white privilege is fine. Let's just say it's instead talking to our children about gender reassignment.
Mm.
Are we cool with it being run, or are we saying no, not that one?
What do you mean cool with it being run?
As in talked about. Let's say your child, God forbid, what's his name?
No.
Great answer.
No, good.
Great answer.
No, I'm just saying. But go on, keep
Yeah.
going.
Cool. Oh, all right, cool. Let's just say your child's in school and he's been told he
Said
can
my son's
basically
name is No.
start dressing up and identifying as what he likes to play with, and it could be Barbie dolls and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they say, all right, cool, we're going to start basically telling our children that gender is fluid. This is what you can be if it is you want it to be. Would you oppose that particular level of teaching?
No, I'm not gonna go and put signs outside the school and all that kind of stuff.
You wouldn't campaign, but you would what?
I'll just because obviously they're just there. The school's there to supplement everything that I instilled in my son anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I can't put my future in their hands. You know what I'm trying to say? So they just need to top up everything that I teach him. So they can tell him whatever they want. When he gets home, he will know that there's only two genders. I'll tell him, don't listen to these crazy white people at school. Yeah, because I'm going to sit down and have a birds and the bees conversation with you. Yeah, it's going to be about the birds and the bees, not about the bees and the bees or the birds and the birds or the birds that thinks it's a bee, but sometimes it's a bird. We're not doing all
you're fine with
that.
that conversation being in the curriculum?
I mean, what can you do?
The bottom line is that school is a taste of the real world, isn't it?
Mm.
And these conversations are gonna happen. This is why I think this woman's mad entitled. Like, the school is meant to tell you about stuff that is in the real world. If it doesn't do that, if it starts to really start to push home, I don't know, one cult like stuff, right? Then you could be like, that's not representative of the real world, and I don't want my kid exposed to that. And also, if you have your own beliefs, then you have to, you know what I mean, you have to find whatever works for you.
You have to teach people and give them information. Every day,
That's
whether
the
you want
thing.
them, you want them to have it or not, it's up to you on how you want to equip your children to go out into the world, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, you could shelter them and keep them in bubble wrap all you want. You know what I'm trying to say? But then they're gonna get to a point in life where they go out there and they see a man that presents as a woman or a woman that presents as a man, and they're gonna be confused.
Yeah.
And then that presents different problems within itself. Again, you need to make people aware of the society that we're living in. So I think the conversation has to come up because I think people need to know. I think it's about how you push the conversation, if that makes sense. Like, so giving people knowledge and information is totally fair. It's about how you're packaging it and what narrative you're pushing behind the gender argument.
This is it. Suppose they presented their theories as fact.
Dwayne Wade's daughter said that the way that she came out to her dad was, or the way I can't remember, they were talking about the story. They were like, the teacher kind of identified that, I can't remember her name, but that she was that she was gay. But she was like, it's more than just gay. Like, I feel like, and then the teacher had a proper talk, and then they invited the dad into the school, and then they presented this to
Zaya.
So they presented it to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, and then that's and then he went away and did mad education, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure that the teacher also identifying with what they were talking about, it would have come through that lens, and it meant that the teacher was able to identify Zaya's like what Zaya was going through and all of that stuff. Right? So all I'm saying is that it's gonna go through the lens of the teacher. Like there is gonna be an element of I'm gonna put my experience in this, right? So if a teacher's proper woke, their history lessons might come with a different kind of vim. I've had teachers like that. Do you know what I mean? If the teacher is, I don't know, white supremacist, then that's gonna come out in some way as well. Like we can't avoid that. But that's why I think it's really important that when you're at home, whatever you're trying to instill in your kids, you have to. And I think sometimes people take a backseat when it comes to education. Like they just like, you've gone to school, come home, eat and stuff like that. So it's really important.
I hear you. My final thought is does bun white privilege.
All right. Don't talk about it, don't do anything. Just bun it.
No, we can talk about it. I'm just saying like bun it. It's not, I don't like it. It's like, it's not, white privilege is an evil superpower, innit?
Yeah, no, I hear that.
So fuck it.
I do feel like the black men have this thing where anything that feels sympathetic from white people, you lot reject. Whether it's what's that scheme at workplaces where they want to hire black people? Affirmative action. I know so many black men that just don't fuck with that. They're like, they just think anything that feels like the person who hurt you in yesteryear is now giving you a handout.
Yeah, because you're only hiring me because I'm black.
But how?
Not because I'm qualified for the role. Like I don't want to be a part of your
I know,
pity
but
party.
should you feel? But that's what I'm saying. Like you do realize that. Like I think if we were to put it in like, let's say a race, right?
Yeah.
The amount of shit that was put in front of you whilst the other competitor who was a white person didn't have that. I think you should, if you really were aware of how many things were in front of you, you wouldn't feel so offended by that. I think it's so ego-based and I don't think it's the most helpful thing. Like, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
I say take everything
right
you
in my
can.
thinking. No, listen, I'll take everything I'm given.
Yeah.
Because
but you're not going to say thank you.
I want it. But do I want to be hired because I'm black?
Of course
do I
not.
want to be hired because you're trying to fill a quota?
Of course
I'd
not.
rather not.
Yeah, of course.
But if it's this is what it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'd rather obviously equal playing field. We don't live in that world, so I'm not naive. But you know what I mean?
But don't let them steal stuff from you by rebranding it as them doing you a favor.
Yeah.
It's actually your right. And I feel like sometimes like black men see it as a favor. But really, it's your right that they rebranded as a favor to you, and you just have to kind of ignore that. Like, I'm not saying, yeah, of course, nobody wants to be hired just because they're black. Of course not. But that's not the opportunity was taken away from you so many times before. Yeah. This is just. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
I see a lot
you.
of black guys like they hate any kind of thing that feels like a handout from white people, and I can get why. But I just want to remind you, it's not a handout. It's your right. They rebranded it to make it look like that. But that's
right.
That's just what I'm thinking. But anyway, let's head into the next headline. Okay. BBC's Amal Rajan is blasted for using pro-life to describe US anti-abortion activists during Roe versus Wade discussions on R4 Today program. Critics slammed the presenter over deceitful term used to manipulate debate on abortion. So the controversial ruling ends America's constitutional right to abortion after 50 years and has angered millions in the US and around the globe. While discussing the issue on today's program on Radio 4, Rajan twice referred to protesters as pro-life instead of anti-abortion. This is in spite of BBC News' in-house style guide, which advises journalists to use anti-abortion rather than pro-life, except where it is part of the title of the group's name, The Guardian reports. Critics argued the term is emotive and feeds into anti-abortionist rhetoric about the beginning of life. Dr. Anna Burham-Brown, deputy leader of the Women's Equality Party, said anti-choice campaigners have long tried to hide behind the facade of being pro-life, when the reality is that they are anything but. They are really trying to restrict women's freedom. Banning abortion only bans safe abortions. Women will die as a result of this ruling, and thousands more will be criminalized or face continuing a pregnancy that they did not choose. It is, of course, disappointing to hear a pro-life framing on the Today program, unintentionally or not, but it speaks to the huge power and influence of the groups and politicians at the front of these efforts to control women and push an untrue narrative that they are saving lives. So yeah, I think it was a couple of days ago that the Roe versus Wade kind of came to a conclusion where they decided that of course they said they end the constitutional right to abortion. So that means immediately several states took away their ability to have an abortion. And my understanding is that the women wouldn't get in trouble, but the clinics that provide the service would be the ones to face criminal proceedings. So immediately they just shut, do you know what I mean? They just shut down. But obviously states can make their own rulings. So I believe California have decided that they will still do abortions. So I guess they're going to be like a haven for anyone who's looking for that. But yes, a lot of people were very, very angry.
Well, someone told me that oh no, I don't know how well versed they are in politics as well, but they were saying that basically that the way this ruling's gone through and the way that it looks is like all the states are going to follow suit eventually. I don't know why they said this, but I don't think they can ban a whole country from getting abortions, can they?
Well, I think they're giving the power into the individual states.
Yeah, I know, but my friend from America was saying that the way that it looks is like this is just like the beginning kind of thing. Like eventually it's going to roll out into all. I don't know why they would say that or why it's been framed to look like that. Would you know, Brent?
I don't know why it's been framed like that because each state is its own governing entity. But you have some big private companies like Facebook and whatnot basically saying they're going to pay for their workers to go and get an abortion in a state that it is still legal. So they are actually campaigning against it in their own way. So it's not going to be a case where the entirety of the US states abide by it because not all of the states even agree.
Yeah. Like I said, California are definitely not doing that. But I'm guessing like the middle states of America that are like they're known to be really religious and stuff. They seem like the first to kind of shut things down. But yeah, in terms of this though, this person used the wrong term and it made a lot of people angry because of how it frames anti-abortionists as being better because they are for life. So yeah.
It's been the term for enough longer. The world just keeps moving every day because they was talking like this for years now. All of a sudden, it's terrible.
Yeah. Do you get why they get in trouble? Why this person got in trouble though?
Why they're saying it?
No, why they got in trouble for saying it?
Yeah, just because of their language, it doesn't help. It doesn't help their argument if you're using it. If you're saying people that are for abortion say they're pro-choice.
Yeah.
People that are against it say that they're pro-life.
Yeah.
But the framing of the word, it just doesn't suit the argument. So I understand why they wouldn't want to use it or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, are you pro-life or pro-choice?
About to ask the same question.
Yeah, we can't get through one day.
I think it's the easy question, huh?
I think I'm pro-choice. I'm Christian. I know what I would do, but I think taking that choice away from other people and in such a way that doesn't take into consideration any situation and stuff. Like it doesn't take into consideration how the person's like. I just that's kind of where I'm at with it because I just kind of feel like telling somebody to do something doesn't make them a better Christian. I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't take away people's choices to do what they think is best for them.
Esther?
I agree.
Should it be a decision that men have any say in?
Definitely
In what?
not, because it's not the
In abortion?
no.
You guys feel free to answer, contribute.
Yeah, of course, a man should. If you had a choice in the making of the baby, then you should be involved in the conversation moving forward. I think you should. Yeah.
I'm gonna give my input with my partner, but at the end of the day, it's her decision. I can only give my opinion and my thoughts and support her in whatever she chooses to do because she's the one that's gonna have the baby in it. So I'm gonna have my opinion. I'm gonna voice it, but at the end of the day, it's your choice.
I think if a woman wants to and a guy says he doesn't want her to, then as long as he's prepared to be the full-time carer and I literally can have the baby and give you the baby to take care of and walk away, then I think that's what men should have to say, personally.
I think
I think it's their women's business.
I think the problem with this is that there's like an intrinsic responsibility, I kind of feel like, with the woman. If after 9 months you decide you fell in love with somebody, you feel like you weren't involved, like I just feel like, and also her body is like it's cooking in
It's her
her
body, yeah. No, I agree with you lot.
No, I know, but I just think when guys say that, I think it's just, let me not assume why you're saying this. I'm not going to say why Mark say it, but when other people say it, I just feel like it's an entitlement without having to do as much of the work and without having to really commit. Like if you, even societally, if you commit, you don't commit, like there's not even as much of a consequence. So why should you get 50? why should you get 50% of say when you don't get 50% of like liability or anything like that? In no other business
That's
situation.
you're just
would that-
thinking about people are using abortions like they're fucking contraception. Man's just thinking about bare little stupid little shitty scenarios. There's people in real relationships like that that use abortions, that don't want children for whatever reason. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? There's conversations to be had. There's solid relationships there's conversations to be had. So I don't understand what you're talking about. It's just one-sided. Like, it shouldn't just be one-sided. I get it. It's your body. It's your choice. You get the ultimate decision and all that shit. I hear all that. That's fine. But you're just thinking of, oh yeah, just one night stand. Oh, I just got the girl pregnant. Oh no, I don't want the baby. Or no, this is deeper than that, innit? But so when you're making a child, there's bare children that get brought into this world from a decision from two people that they made together. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and that's a serious thing. So for whatever reason, I don't know what scenarios could be out there, but for whatever reason, if the feeling was it's not the right thing for this child to come into the world, it can be it could be a joint decision and a joint conversation as well, depending on how much you care about the person that you're going into this with. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That depending on how much you respect and how much you rate them, because life's not just about, oh, it's my choice, it's my body, it's my thing. No, there's different scenarios. There are times when people, like I said, people try to use abortions like their contraception, and that's the fucking problem in the first place. You know what I'm trying to say? That taking this shit for granted, like, and just throwing babies away willy-nilly. This is a problem. So when you talk about this stuff, you just automatically think to a place like that. But it's way more nuanced than that. There's serious stuff going on in the world. And what do you mean a guy can't have a say on it? Like, I mean, I don't know.
No, I hear everything you're saying. Ultimately, I feel like I've said this before. The gulf between what is said online and what happens in real life is very, very different. In a situation, if that woman decides that she wants to, Abi, you said it's a deep situation, a real thing. So that woman would take into consideration her partner if she wanted to. But ultimately, I think the final say has to be with the person who's carrying the kid and is intrinsically bonded to the kid. Like, as in, it's her responsibility in every which way, not just physically, but societally in every which way. That is her responsibility. She's judged on that kid. I don't think anyone here is saying throw away the kid willy-nilly. I'm just saying, if you have sex with somebody and you two are in some sort of deep relationship, then I'm sure that woman will take into consideration. But I think it's her choice how much, what ultimately is right for her. And yeah, I guess we just won't sleep with each other. That's that. Like, it's just different points of view, isn't it? Like, that's it. But I don't like how when somebody says they're pro-life, it just comes across like we're saying confetti the kids, throw them in the air. Like, that's not what's being said. I think
what's being done.
Even like with abortion, like even women who have miscarriages. So if you have a miscarriage, essentially you have to abort the child in a way to get the baby out of you, otherwise you die. So with the law, that isn't there's a lot of different scenarios other than people not wanting to have children, like medical reasons that the abortion law kind of covers. So it's beyond just people not wanting to have kids, but I guess there's more rights for the guns than there is for.
But and I think also when you look at how this decision came about, it's just like you can't. Okay, so pro-choice, means that if you want to keep your child, you can keep your child, and if you want to get rid of your child, you can get rid of your child. Bear in mind, this is a really hard topic just because of what I believe and all of that. But ultimately, I think that makes sense. You're basically saying nobody should have any choice to keep to be able to
and that's mad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's mad.
That's insane.
No one's if it's there, not everyone's going to take up that offer.
Right.
And so that makes sense. Each their own. Why do you care what someone else?
Every person who believes in keeping your child under the previous ruling, you could. So all you're trying to do is exert control over somebody else, which is insane.
So obviously, there's definitely scenarios where it's taken out of people's control and that they've been put in situations that they don't want to be put in. Yeah, but is there element of them trying to just take back control of a situation that's spiraling out of control?
No, do you know why I say?
Because essentially you're telling people, you're saying, all right, cool, you can't have abortions and it's taking rights from people, but essentially I think in the long run what they're trying to say is it's like, just take some of the onus of what you're doing, take some of the responsibility back. We're saying, to stop making bad decisions, either use contraception.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is there? People are about to make worse decisions.
There must be too much abortions. There must be so much going on.
People
People are abusing the system and these things.
Do you know people are going to make worse decisions? Because this is not going to be a deterrent to people like having sex or whatever. All it means is that now people can't get it in a safe manner. People are going to go back to how they got it back in the day. in back roads, alleys, and all that kind of stuff. And so what it means is it's just going to be worse. It's not going to be a deterrent. It's not going to be less pregnancies in the stats because of this. It's not going to be any less.
Not initially.
Anything.
There's always
All
going to
it's
be
gonna
growing
mean
pains.
Is the same thing.
There's always going to be growing
worse.
pains. It's got to balance itself out. You know,
I'm not going to balance itself out.
No,
Because if you look at stats back in the day,
I'm not. I'm saying it might get worse before it gets better, but
it's not going to get better. It's never got better. You're not going to stop having as much sex as you were having. Not you, sorry. American Marks is not going to stop having. Huh?
So why are you doing that for?
This is not good.
This ruling is not going to stop everybody that's having sex before. It's not going to make them tone down how much you're having sex. Sex isn't, for so many people, sex is not overly planned. I think that even this approach, if you were trying to, there's so many things you
I'm
put
in
in
a
place
state
before
where
abortion.
abortions are illegal, we've got decisions to make before we have sex. So I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. We need to know exactly what's going on.
Miles, you
Contraception
honestly
and that.
think that the male population...
I'm just telling you how
the
my
female-
brain works.
Yeah, great.
If I'm in a state where abortions are illegal, we need to know what we're doing before we have this sex.
I think that's a fair point because having kids
Okay.
is a consequence of having sex.
Yeah,
so if
we-
you're in a state where you can't have abortions, you have to think twice about
Yes,
how
we
you.
need-
If men really care about what the woman would need to do in order to do it, they just
You're
decide-
you're talking about a particular type of man.
Yeah, I believe.
and there are a
Because
lot of men that's out there.
No, I'm not saying there isn't, but okay.
I mean, a sensible man. If like I said, if abortions are illegal in this state, illegal,
Yeah. You would move.
We
you
need
would-
to have-
You'd have to move
we
differently.
need to know what we're doing before we have sex, kind of
sure.
thing. We need to know what go on, whether we're using condoms, whether you're on the pill.
Yeah.
Like, we need to know what go
You'd
on.
have to think about
Because-
contraception.
Yeah, because what the fuck?
You know what this is? This is theory, not practical. You lot are giving what I think we would theorize people are going to be
Not
like.
all men.
No,
They're
but,
not all men.
not all
Spare
men.
people ain't
Not
gonna
all men.
care. Don't get
but
me wrong.
this is stopping all abortions.
exactly.
Like, this is stopping all abortions. You know what I mean? This is everybody. People that I know when we hear certain trigger warning, terrible rape and all these other things, we're not thinking about all the scenarios in which people end up being pregnant that is not wholesome, good, friendly, or fun. Do you know what I mean? Then let's talk about fun sex. Fun sex often isn't planned. There's a passion thing. Do you know what I mean? On the wrong day with the right dude, now all of a sudden you're carrying something. Do you know what I mean? All of the things that you
better
guys
practice better self-control, sis.
and then also, how many other things can be used? Condoms.
Contraceptions fail, first of all. Put that
Right.
out there.
That's true. But all I'm saying is that there's so many things. I just think the way that this has been rolled out has let me see that they see life. They even shows this that they see life fully as the responsibility of the woman. They see the woman as the one that has to deal with it. Because I don't think when you read up about what abortion is and the process of it, it does not sound fun.
Well, if you're the one that's your body and you get the ultimate choice, shouldn't the responsibility of it, the main onus of it, lie on you then? For real.
So then she should have the choice then, no?
Huh?
She should have the choice.
But I'm just saying, you're making out like it's the woman's goal responsibility, but you're saying you should have all the responsibility. You should.
You shouldn't, because you're a parent.
No, you should. You just
No,
want to have.
you
You did. You want the choice. You get the faith thing. If
The
it comes
reason-
down to you, it's all right. Your opinion's all right, but it's my body, my choice. You should have all the responsibility.
reason
What does
why
that mean?
the
You're
reason
saying
why
that
the
we...
ultimate-
What do you mean?
I don't know,
He's
because
doing
you just said it like it was a
tit for
bad
tat.
thing.
He's doing tit for tat.
No,
What he's
because I don't
saying-
know. You just made a statement like it was a bad thing. I'm saying that's how it should be. If that's the case from what
So
you're
you're saying
saying.
if I get to make the full choice about whether I keep the kid or don't keep the kid,
The responsibility
Then
on what?
I
I
should
shouldn't-
responsibility. It's a tit for tat situation. The reason why the woman will be the one to make the ultimate decision is because her body's the one that has to go through it. She's the one.
Exactly.
who's
So
at
you
risk
should have the most
of dying.
responsibility about what's
No,
going on in your body
no,
too.
it should- that
what do you
should-
mean? So
that- that
we should.
doesn't make
So
sense.
if we're about to sleep with each other, I should be the one to say stop.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you meant of childcare.
No.
Oh, okay. That's
No.
I thought you meant, because we said ultimately the woman should decide what happens. Because of that, she should then ultimately be the one who takes care of the child.
No.
That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
No,
Let's
what
go
I'm
back
saying.
to the
Oh,
stop.
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put some situations out where stop doesn't work. Rape, pedophilia. What in those situations? What should happen?
I don't know, because rape doesn't count. Because it's wrong. So we're not talking about
No,
those.
but it does because under this law.
Yeah, but that wasn't the conversation we was having though.
No, but you just said that I should have full onus.
You weren't. You're saying because underneath this law, it's saying it's back and it's still showing you it's like it's putting on the women should have more responsibility. And I'm saying yes,
No,
you should.
okay, so maybe I phrased that wrong.
In agreeing with what, if what you were saying earlier, and
Okay.
that's how you believe, then yes, you should.
I-
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, everything I said previously, I totally agree with. What I'm saying in this point is that what it showed me. Let me put out my point. What it showed me is that the ruling government, genuinely feels like they can police what women do with their bodies, and I don't think that's okay.
Okay then.
So The English landed? All right, then, thank you. Always get, no, it's good to pick me up on that. It's fine. Anyway, yes, all right, let's go into the next headline. Is everyone okay with me jumping into the next headline?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So De-Shaun Joseph, 14, was forced to the ground and handcuffed by Met police officers after he was wrongly targeted while walking home from school. A black schoolboy was handcuffed and forced onto the ground in a mistaken stop and search, with the youngster fearing for his life. De-Shaun Joseph, 14, was stopped by the police in South London on Thursday after officers said he matched the description of a suspect in a nearby robbery. The young boy was on his way home from school when he was forced to the ground face down outside Black Horse Road tram station in Croydon, South London. He was wearing a grey top over his school uniform, with officers out looking for blacksters in a blue hoodie.
Blacksters, black youngsters.
Oh, sorry. Black youngsters. Y'all get me. So... Shit, square. De-Shaun told ITV News that he hadn't done anything wrong and was stopped for no reason. I thought I was gonna die, he said. De-Shaun was able to shout out his mother's mobile number to an onlooker. She was called and raced to the scene. Can you imagine? Janet Joseph feared her asthmatic son would be the next George Floyd and was worried he would be killed while being restrained by police officers. Video footage shows a helpless De-Shaun on the floor with his hands held behind his back and an officer kneeling on his legs. A spokesperson for the Met Police said police were called at 5:17 p.m. on Thursday, the 23rd of June, after a primary school boy had been robbed of his mobile phone by a group of teenagers who intimidated. Yeah, that he had a knife in Woodside Green, Croydon. Officers responded and conducted the area search. A teenage boy was stopped in Black Horse Road at 5:27 p.m. after officers saw his clothing match the description given of one male within the suspect group. He was detained for the purposes of a search, at which he verbally abused officers and became obstructive. Once he was eliminated as a possible suspect, he was given a written record of the stop and search and allowed on his way. A public complaint has been made and will be investigated thoroughly by the Professional Standards Unit. So, yeah.
It's more police just harassing people again.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the argument? Oh, why don't you just cooperate instead of being verbally abusive? Why did I say it like that? I've just basically coloured.
Because
Shut up, man. Be abusive, man. Spit on them.
black people are angry and they're tired. They're frustrated.
I've never been tackled to the floor or anything like that. But all the boys I know, whether they were the good head boy to whether they were on road, have experienced some of the most horrible kind of rough housing you can imagine. And every time a younger cousin or sibling goes out, I just think like, this is because I just know you're going to work or going somewhere and this can happen to you. Do you know what I mean?
We just need more vigilante groups, man. We're always talking shit about the police, but no one ain't badding them up. No one ain't punching them up.
Who's
seriously.
the onus on? All right, so what about this guys? I'm just putting stuff out there. Put your seatbelt on. But you see the boys that robbed the boy in the first place that were black, young boys, whatever.
Black youngsters.
Do they have any onus in the amount that black people, young black boys, get stopped and searched and harassed?
Yeah, there's obviously a problem on that end as well. But it doesn't mean that officers need to be aggressive or abuse their authority or, use their white privilege to their advantage. We are tired.
We are tired.
Your activism today.
No, but also, okay, cool. If a police officer, addresses me in a very calm, concise, manner, I'm gonna give him that same energy back. But if I'm being physically roughed up, I'm supposed to stay calm. When I'm getting, you know what I mean? Nah, bro. You gotta take these fists.
Yeah, it's just all the racial biases. We're talking about fit descriptions and stuff like that. Because even if the shoe was out on the other foot and the suspects that you was looking for was, I don't know, white people, I'm guessing that even the way that you approach them, you're going to try and obtain certain information first. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but when it's a black kid, or a little kid in a hoodie, and then you fit the description, and all of a sudden, all your rights go out the window. You fit the description. So I'm not even prepared to find out who you are, or you just look similar to what I'm looking for, so I can bend you up. But you don't deal with everybody like this. You don't deal with people like this. This is what the problem comes from. You know what I'm trying to say? Then you can use them stupid little phrases and them terms. I've heard that over 100 times in my life. Oh, you fit the description of someone that's got an area or a robbery that's got an area. He's not just lying. He's wanting an excuse to just bother me and chat shit. It's moving like this black man are just robbing people all day long. You're lying. It's mostly the fiends and crackers that are doing all the robberies and shit, which are predominantly white as well. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So you are lying. I always fit the description of this. There's just crazy young black boys in every area before these running around. Like, you are proper chatting shit. You know what I'm trying to say? It's annoying when you hear it all the time. Obviously, in that situation, if something actually did happen, then all right, cool. But like I said, you are the police. They're a kid. You can stop him and obtain whatever information you need from him to find out whether he is the person that you're looking for, rather than just jump on him and get all aggressive and just start badding him up straight away. Like, it's just annoying. Like I said, I'm in favour of vigilante groups. Because
I think a lot more people get hurt
actions.
than helped.
Okay.
No, I just like actions, you know.
We need
I like
Emman to say these are the views of my thing. Is I don't know. I don't really know what the solution is here, because like I even think young boys actually oh, by the way, if you are like a young person and you want to understand what your rights are in terms of stop and search, if you go on our Instagram, I believe Brent has put up from an episode we had a couple of weeks ago, Brent put up kind of like what your rights are in terms of being stopped and searched. Am I right in saying that, Brent?
Correct.
Yeah, so if you go up on our Instagram, because that's stuff that we care about as well, just arming you guys for like day-to-day life in this world. But yeah, I've never been stopped and searched, and I think the way I'm set up and the way that I feel like I have a right to a good life, that shit would be really upsetting. Like, it would be very, very upsetting. So I can't even imagine that this is a norm for you guys, and I'm really sorry about that. So yeah, it's not much, but yeah. All right, well, guys, with all of that, it's been a hard couple headlines, so I'm gonna need Word on Road to save the day. Over to you, Esther.
So last week talked about the versus Omarion and was it Mario, wasn't it? And you kind of explained the whole B2K situation with me.
Yeah.
Who was the one that doesn't really interact with them anymore?
Razby.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Razby, yeah.
But okay, so I thought it was him talking about. No, it's J Boog. So he's basically gone in on Omarion, like it's a whole ass essay. I'm just gonna read out little bits that
The shadiest bits, please.
the shady bit, yes, exactly.
Thank you.
So essentially he's basically calling out Omarion for his behaviour and following the verses and whatever, right? So some of what he said is it's sad when you see ones you grew up with, but also you grew up turn out the way they do. The wise lead the future wizards. I'll be that, the wise one. You shouldn't have been in a rush to skip class. Now you're 5th year senior playing ball with a GPA of 2.3, barely passing. If this doesn't work, LOL. He basically gave a lot of background about their growing up and how they got into like music and whatever.
Yeah.
Says time spent in a selfish mindset, not valuing the gems right next to you, learning from nothing, earning no knowledge from the geniuses amongst you. He goes on to say Fizz and Bougie, which is him, right?
Boog, yeah.
Boog. Yeah, why did I say Bougie? Yeah, so Fizz and Boog were the favourites, and you couldn't understand that because you sung all the leads by old school group design. But the guy who only talked on the track and the interviews, me, and the other guy who rapped on our singles, Fizz, were getting more love than you. That's not my fault. But I was never mad that I could sing on your level, but never got the chance. I was just a young boy from Compton, happy to be part of a group. You give off the impression as if you've done me a favour. Shall I take you back to when, because of your vocal, we visited every record label in the business and was turned down twice? You were singing in the background for a minute when Max Goose, did I say that right? Yeah. Brought in another lead singer to try and make the record sound better to help him try and get us the deal. And when that happened, who stood for you? We did, and we went to management and said, we're rolling with O. We're not bringing anyone else in. We stood by your side, and we were told if we didn't get a deal on our next meeting, we were getting dropped. The thing is, we call B2K was never the Omarion show. It's more like a circus, and each guy brought a special attraction, and collectively, it was fun to watch. Watching you only lets me know that you are not really paying attention to what was making you Omarion, because without us around, it's clear you can't tap back into him. You look lost, almost like you're looking for us to basically feed off of. You were never a solo artist. You're a fame hog, and that's got the best of you. He goes on to then say, He basically goes on to say that to call me a background dancer is funny. Shall we discuss the truth behind how those records really were made? So essentially, he's saying that he was the lead vocals on a lot of things. Omarion can't really sing. There's times where they had to bring Steve Russell in and out of leads to like do some hooks and stuff like that. So basically, also Boog got became the lead after the first album.
Yeah.
And apparently that pissed Omarion off and whatever.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why the group broke up, I think the reason why the group broke up is because Omarion kind of snaked them over a girl. So he says, hold on, sorry. Yeah, he said it didn't help that Fizz was the most popular and the label had already given him a solo deal before you ever had a conversation with them about one. Tell the truth when you try and lie to the people because the lack of their knowledge on the situation. Then he says, shall we talk about why you broke up the group originally? You were looking for a way out before anything ever happened. And because a chick you liked that didn't like you got smashed, you went and did the ultimate snake shit. So essentially, I don't even know, I think they had a group, an agreement that basically can't, I don't know whether it's have sex with girls or whatever when they're on tour or whatever. Obviously they did. And Boog and Fizz, it's that kind of boy chat, right? And they said how all the other conversations always, it's not said, but this is between us kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they must have shared with him, like someone shared with him about having sex with someone, but he basically went and told the label.
Okay.
So then they got in trouble and it was like, yeah, basically.
But they weren't allowed to have sex.
Something like that. I don't know
Okay.
what the situation is exactly, but he was like, you knew what you were doing. We had rules. No messing around on the road with a bunch of girls. We confided in you in the mistakes we made, and you went home and told on us, getting us kicked out the house and breaking the group up over a chick. You knew that business was already shaky because of us wanting to renegotiate our deal. So you took that opportunity to throw us off the ship and take the boat. You got your mama a house and your brother a deal to turn your back on your boys. And so you did the same thing with the tour. So now the 2018 tour, guys, it was a whole thing. I actually read all of it. It's a lot.
Where did he write this?
Instagram.
Okay.
It's like 60 slides. But okay, let's not talk about 10. But he said, yeah, so he said basically the reason why the Millennium Tour happened is because Omarion was broke. And he had to literally beg everybody. And Boog was the last one to sign his deal. And he's got a voice note, which I think he should release it. He said he basically still has a voice note of Omarion begging him, saying, please just sign a contract, let's do it for our kids, blah, blah. But it's because Omarion was broke, owed people money. And he tried to be like, he said, come on, Boogie, let's just do it. Let's do it for our kids. Let's get this money kind of thing. And he said, as soon as the fire was backlit, you threw us off the ship again and you did the same thing. So the way he snaked them the first time, he sent them a second time and he was like, Chris Brown took your career and Bow Wow just took your tour. That's what happens when you try and use people as a launch pad. And then he said, I saw you kick in. So basically in the Millennium Tour, one of the shows, the other guys weren't there. I think it was after the argument. And he basically kicked the chairs. He was trying to make a statement of like, you don't need them, whatever. But he was like, you didn't do that when we were there, when we were on the show, the previous show with you.
Jay
And he
Boog
said-
can smoke.
He wrote his heart out and he was basically saying how he's been seeing his snaky things here and then interviews or whatever. I saw the whole thing. You said, I am B2K and you're on Versus claiming that, you're the vocal on B2K. He's like, you're lame for all this nonsense. Don't ruin your legacy. What we did in such a short time is still a major topic. B2K will forever be your origin and from the looks of it, the peak of your career. Omarion is a brand. I give you that, but it's not bigger than B2K, which is your brand as well. I say all of this to say that I take my comments that I've said on several platforms back about Fizz. Fizz taking April. I think now is justified. I get
I
it.
was thinking about that. I was like, April is happily in love with one actor somewhere.
Oh, what's his name?
Tay Diggs. Yeah, she
I'll
looks.
show you Tay Diggs now.
Yeah, but I mean,
they're
they look.
trying to say they're not together. They're just friends, but
They're definitely together. I'm gonna tell you that, like, they're definitely together, in my opinion. False facts, but yeah, man, yeah, but you know what? I love music documentaries because they show you how treacherous the music industry is from back in the day. It's like.
mad.
Like when I see some of the most OG musicians didn't even get paid and stuff like that. Like I'm just like, yo, that shit is wild. But anyway, at least he's got his shit off. Do you think it's gonna affect Omarion?
I think that the verse is the worst thing Omarion could have done.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing to say the least.
It's funny when people do verses and they come off way worse than
Before.
they would have thought they would. Yeah, I mean, it's just
Because before that, we actually thought Omarion was this unbothered guy.
yeah.
But it turns out, even at the verse, I'm not sure if you watched it, but
Yeah, I watched it.
it's a lot of like shady mess. And whereas everyone had, because I used to rate Omarion for being like this unbothered guy, I didn't really respond to things, but he's clearly a very, very bothered person. I don't know, I just feel like I don't rate him now.
Do you know what it was? It was the melon. Did you see him?
Nah,
That was very
that was the
unnecessary.
worst part.
Very
Do
unnecessary.
you see the part with the mic where he's grinding up on the mic?
No.
It was very embarrassing. He was,
And then
like,
he
on the
gave
floor,
the melon to somebody.
doing
That's
the
the,
worm and the
the
snake.
person in the crowd.
Yeah,
isn't
he
it?
gave it, and then she looked at it
In
and
COVID.
said, "Okay." I mean,
I would have thrown his head.
As in, like, he didn't get the Michael Jackson reaction. You know, like, you want to put the melon out, then everyone rips the melon apart with their bare hands. So she said, okay.
But it's COVID and your spit is on it.
Yeah, it wasn't it, man. It
didn't give anything he thought it was going to give.
And the thing is that I don't think anything is 100% a lie, so some of that must be true, right?
I believe all of it is true.
God, I didn't even say that. But yeah.
No, same. I'm
listening. I was like, there was no benefit for him to come out and say all of that shit at this point. Sense. What made him say all of that stuff, though?
I think it's just the digs again. It's just the whole I'm B2K, I'm this and that, and like the shots he was throwing in what's it called on the verses. And I think also like when someone's trying to act like they're the ones put the group together, and then you got to go and perform. Okay, go and perform as the group, and then you did a sham job of it.
And I think because he didn't include them as well, he didn't bring them into the verses.
Yeah, he didn't do that either.
Okay.
But I think that with Omarion, I believe it because I think he's always had this main character energy. Because I remember as well. So he and April were on Love and Hip Hop, right? They were there as a couple. We introduced to them together, blah blah. And then when he did Post to Be and Post to Be popped off or whatever, he quit the show. He said the show was basically. He basically said the show was beneath him now. But it's like you had one single that went off.
Beneath me now.
And I remember like April was like, "Well, I'm staying on the show because this is how I'm making money."
Didn't
kind of
he
thing.
Get like a circumcision or something?
Yeah, he got. Was it him or Fizz? Yeah, it was him. Yeah, he got circumcised and stuff.
Fully cocked, yeah.
But okay. But yeah, so he left the show and he did a whole thing about I'm on a different, like, life is different for me now. Like I'm above that. This is above me kind of thing, or I'm above this kind of thing. And he left, but we haven't heard from him since Supposed to Be.
Can I suggest one thing? Yeah. All right, cool, boom. But imagine, you're a young star.
Yeah.
Like this is all you know, innit? Like being a star. And so when he's not making money, he doesn't feel like he can comfortably let people know he's down, innit? So he's trying to do stuff. He's burned a lot of bridges, but I just feel like anyone who's like a young star, they usually turn out quite weird, innit? Wayward or something like that. So I'm just like, this is not too surprising to me, all of this stuff. Like,
I mean, he was definitely eating watermelon on the stage. And his brother too.
Yeah, he brought his brother out as well.
Between both of you, there was not one brain cell to say this is a bad idea.
No, do you know what it is? They cut the watermelon, must have wrapped it in foil, brought it to the show.
But did you see that he went to where the DJ was like,
give me the watermelon.
Bring out his time.
Drop it.
Watermelon time.
Ew.
I said,
so embarrassing.
And the whole idea of it was to make women think, oh,
like it's such a bit seductive. But
if you're giving me head,
yeah. You eat the pussy.
But you know,
yeah, it was.
But you know what's mad? It's very American though.
Yeah,
it's a very American thing.
American.
If you eat pussy like that, boy,
you won't have no pussy left. You won't have no pussy left when he's finished with it. You don't even want that.
That wasn't even cute at all.
You won't have no pussy left.
No, you really wouldn't. I said
he bit the thing, and
like,
then he just put his face in it and did this a lot.
No,
I expected more from you, sir. I expected more from you.
And you got Mario, who's just
brother.
looking like a proper dude, just in his Amiri coat.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
The thing is that he looked so handsome
Just
as well. He was in great
steady.
shape. He was.
And then you're over here doing this.
We took the wrong bet.
Bullshit.
We were on. I don't know what we were on because he came.
He
even knew the dance moves, guys.
I was going with the unbothered Omarion. I didn't know all of that.
She didn't know about the watermelon.
When I saw the watermelon, I said, cut the cameras. I would have been Swizz and Tim and be like, come out. Wait a minute, we need to.
Just Swizz and Tim.
We didn't talk about this. What the heck are you doing? It was so embarrassing.
And you know what's crazy? Do you know what? There's nothing more embarrassing than when you think something's gonna slap. When you with your chest like this is gonna slap.
I had to go to the Breakfast Club. And I want Charlamagne to
Charlamagne will deal with him.
I want Charlamagne to get into him. So what was the thought process behind that?
Do you know he come on TDA? We should take turns.
I'm like, so if you do that again, would you bring the watermelon out again?
I will throw chunks of watermelon at him, see what he does with it. Anyway, man.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
But good news. Summer Walker is pregnant with her second baby.
Did Erica Badu drop it or did she drop it first?
No, Summer dropped it first. Okay. Which I thought was sad. I'll tell you why it's sad actually.
Yeah.
So she basically had an Instagram live on Saturday afternoon and she basically told her followers that people asking me if I'm pregnant, I am, and I'm very, 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 very happy about it. She said, I'm very excited about it, and this is going to be, I'm very excited about it because it's going to be very different from how it was before. If you don't know, her first baby's father is, who is him that makes people do it?
Southside.
Song? No, that's Young Miami.
London on the Track.
London on the Track, that's it.
I thought you said...
Because you know they have all have different
they have
that's Mike.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's it. My bad. So it's what's his name again? Said it.
London
on the Track. London on the Track. And basically was like, they were in a relationship for a long time. But when the baby happened, there was quite a toxic thing because I think he had several baby mums. Like he and Future are net that they're really competing. Actually, in the canon, I think they kind of maybe doing better. But anyway, so the relationship kind of became really toxic and whatever, calling each other out in public. It's a whole thing. And it was just a whole thing, very toxic. But she's happy and in love with a guy called Larry. She's got a tattoo of his name by her eyebrow. Questionable actions, but she's happy, clearly. So she says it's going to be different from before. It's really peaceful, really happy, lots of help, lots of love, which I think is really good because the first one, listen to the album. The tea is all on there, basically. So she said that, but she did say as well that, where is she? Hold on. The only reason, which I think is sad, the only reason I'm even saying anything is because last time I felt very disrespected that people didn't let me tell that myself. People were taking pictures of me in the store. I know it kind of comes with a job, but people took pictures of me and sent it to the shade room before I even could announce my pregnancy. I thought that was very disrespectful and it made me very, very upset. So, yeah. Cute. She's expecting a baby.
He just makes noises inside his hoodie and I don't know what's happening.
No, because he's laughing and they think he's trying to
No,
be
I kissed my teeth because she's saying people are disrespectful because they took a picture of her. She's pregnant.
Yeah, because you can't announce someone's pregnancy before they do. Anything can happen.
She's a celebrity. She's
She
walking around
said, I get it
with
comes
a
with the
baby
job, but-
bump. And she's confused. She's crazy.
Yeah, but in a world where everyone has sense,
No.
it'd be great.
If she never had a baby bump, people will see her and take pictures of her. If she never had the baby bump, she's a celebrity.
No, but when you're pregnant, people are more excited to be the ones that announce it.
You're basically saying she should stay at home.
Yeah.
That's
If
right.
she didn't want to be seen,
Logically,
yeah.
that makes sense. But the idea, like, when it comes to like a lot of people don't announce their pregnancies until a certain time because apparently there's a greater risk of something going wrong earlier. So when it gets to like a certain trimester, it's like, okay, we're in the safe space or whatever. So I feel like a lot of people they're not quick to. Why do I feel like he's dismissing the conversation already? They're not quick to announce it. And it's meant to be something that you excitedly tell people. It's
Also,
So
sorry,
a
trigger
celebrity-
warning, but I could have a miscarriage, and now you're gonna accept. Now I have to heal. Whereby I could have healed privately, now I have to heal.
but the baby
Everyone
bump would
knows
be
our
big enough
business.
because they say don't do it for like 6 weeks and all that. You can tell people the baby bump would have clearly been big enough
It's
for people
definitely
to
not 6
see.
It's definitely not 6 weeks. It's like 2 trimesters. It's like the
Yeah.
second trimester.
Yeah, which is like we're into like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
They don't tell you not to tell people for
6
4 or 5 months. That's not what they say.
I'm
When-
sorry. Are you a woman?
No, but I've had a child.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Equal.
But you're, but you're
No.
the child though. So
Yeah,
that's
but
different. You're gonna know it from early. But in an ideal world, you really
Yeah,
shouldn't.
but it's like it's 6 weeks. There's scans. There's a certain amount.
Did
There's
you
a,
go to all the scans?
yes.
What was it like?
Mm.
I don't know. When you asked that, I was thinking, wow.
I just thought
You,
that
you
maybe
asked it with
what
big
do you want him to
excitement.
tell you?
What was it like?
Yeah,
And I
like
was like,
it was shit TV
Scanning it, they
screen.
scanned it.
Yeah, they scanned it. It was there. They scanned it. It was there.
Oh, I thought you hear heartbeat and stuff. I thought that shit would be exciting. I think this is your first, right?
Did you cry?
No, I'm not like a
Emotional person.
emotions are for movies. I told you that. I'm not a sentimental like.
listen, God didn't make mistakes, bro.
See,
What does that mean?
I don't want to know what it means. But
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't know.
No, remember, that was his line before.
Oh, God, don't make me sick. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get like.
Soft.
I'm weird. I'm just pretty even keeled with everything that I do. I'm just pretty. I mean, sometimes I can, but yeah, for the most part, I'm just.
Okay.
I have some advice, but I'll keep that off air.
Yeah, well, part of me was like, I think I got someone you could talk to, but do you know,
Yeah.
you look cool though, like not reacting
That
to
counts
stuff.
for
It
something.
looks cool, you know? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move on from
Heard
that.
you use heartbeat, said, it's a nice beat.
Like, boy, says being right. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So BET Awards happened on Sunday, which obviously after the Roe vs. Wade situation on Saturday,
Yeah.
and a lot of the people who performed and said
This is
stuff.
new, right?
What, the BT Awards?
No,
The
this
sound.
noise.
Yes, the light.
Oh,
I think.
I could remove it.
No.
Or remove what the lights so people can finally see us. This is the first time viewers are seeing who we
Hello?
are. No, we're talking about. This is the first time they've never met us before. So
Oh,
But yeah, so Taraji, she said in her opening monologue, she said guns have more rights than a woman. It's a sad day in America. A weapon that can take lives has more power than woman who can give life if she chooses to. Jasmine Sullivan also made reference to it. She says, as always, I do this for the women, for my sisters especially. It's a hard time right now for us, and I want to speak directly to the men. We need y'all to stand up for us, stand up with us. If you've ever benefited from a woman making one of the toughest decisions of her life, which is to terminate a pregnancy, you need to be standing with us. This is not just a woman's issue. This is everybody's issue. And we need your support more than ever. And before her performance, she said, F you, Supreme Court. There's a lot of stuff, but it looked really fun. Performances from Latto.
Lalo.
Yeah, I like her.
Miss
Jack
Malone,
Harlow.
yeah.
I think she had Mariah on actually as well. Jack Harlow, Chloe, Mary J. Black. Well, no. Sorry.
When you said
And-
Chloe, I was like, what, Kardashian?
No,
yeah, the Bailey one.
Yeah, DaBaby. It's the only one I want to see. And then Diddy, he won the Lifetime Achievement Award.
He gave a 12-minute speech.
Yeah.
So
Who did
They'd be
he?
allowing them
Yeah.
to do that. Yeah, they allow them to.
I looked
go
at the
off.
video. I thought, cool, maybe some
Do you know who
performances
had a
here.
long
I
speech?
scanned through just him
Kanye.
talking.
Kanye.
The whole
We're
time.
going to get into that.
Kanye had a long.
Also, I hope you're going to talk about Lil Kim.
No, I wasn't planning to, but you could tag me in on
Alright,
that.
cool.
Love this.
Yeah, so people that won awards, Jasmine Sullivan won the Best Female R&B Pop Artist. Weeknd won the male one. I think someone else could have probably got that. But Best Group was Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic, basically. Best Collaboration,
Okay.
which I absolutely love, is Wizkid with Justin Bieber and Thames.
Whoop, whoop, whoop,
It's amazing.
whoop.
For Essence. Best Female Hip Hop, Meg Thee Stallion, Kendrick for hip hop. Didn't Kendrick just bring an album out the other day?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he was in the run so quickly and he won.
I love that for him.
That's great.
Okay, look.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
I don't think she's been enough respect on K-Dot's name.
Who?
You.
Best New Artist. Latto won that, which I think is really cool as well. She's been working hard. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. And BT Her, Mary J. Blige got that. Which I like. I love Mary.
You don't call it Lalo.
And
It's Lalo.
no, I can't.
Yeah, it's Lato.
Because it's
I'm
short.
saying Latto.
Lato.
But it's not-
English.
My mum
it's
says I
short-
have to pronounce
La-
my T's all the
Latto.
time.
But you wouldn't say mulatto.
I probably will. I don't know. But Best International Act, Thames also won that as well, which I absolutely love for her. And yeah.
Nice.
And then Kanye gave actually speak about Kim first.
So Diddy had his performance, innit? His
Yeah.
trippy performance. He had Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Jada, Chic. Shine actually came out as well, actually. Shine performed.
Yeah, in a suit.
Which is a big deal because that's the first time he performed Diddy for God knows when. But anyway, Lil Kim came out to do Benjamin's, yeah. And Lil Kim has had too much work done.
No.
She looked like an ant. I'm sorry. And she was so stiff.
I didn't see this going this way.
And she
didn't
almost
know.
I
ruined
didn't know.
the performance because
That's
she
the next
fumbled-
time, debrief.
she fumbled her lines.
Really?
And Diddy had to kind of like help her. And
Oh no.
I'm just saying, Lil Kim, it's enough.
What,
I think
enough
she's
of her
stopped.
career? Of
No,
her
No,
job?
enough of the work.
Enough
I think
of the
she's
work,
stopped now.
man.
I hope
Oh.
so. I hope so.
It's enough work, man. Lil Kim, you
It's
look.
a lot.
Lil Kim, it's enough. That's what I want to say. It's
Yeah,
enough.
it's a shame, really. But
Yeah.
Kanye also had a tribute speech to Diddy, and I'll read out some parts of it. He basically said, "How do we crown?" Actually, I'm going to read all of it that I have here. How do we
You're going to
crown?
read all of it?
He was like, nigga, I gotta go.
How
I would like
do
to
we
hear it
crown
also.
our kings? Do you see? I'm just ignoring it
No, I'm
because
with
I
you,
think I'm being
sis.
tested and tried this Monday morning. How do we crown our kings? How do we appreciate our kings? To think how far we could just make it off of inspiration. To hear the way somebody chopped a sample in, me and friend rushing to blah blah. So basically, he's just being really nice to Diddy and saying how he's inspired him a lot and blah 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 blah. And an interesting part was he said, understood contracts in a way a lot of us still don't. Understood money in a way a lot of us still don't. I'm not sure that's shade. Because isn't it that Diddy hasn't paid some people?
Yeah, that's the whole narrative.
Yeah, and
That's
that the
interesting.
contracts Diddy had people in before. Was,
Yeah, so that's
borderline
interesting that
slavery.
Kanye thinks he understands the contract. Okay. I go to him for advice to this day. He inspires so many of my choices, so many of my life choices, my wife choices. And here we are. Thanks for that path.
Just gotta
And
let it go, man.
yeah. It's very interesting. Very, very good speech. Listen to it. And Diddy also thanks Cassie as well for
He's got to let go as well. Like,
yeah. It was nice. It was
Was
a
it-
nice
it was nice?
gesture. Yeah.
because her man's
What
come
did you
out.
thank Cassie for?
Just inspiring his life and stuff. Inspiring him in his life. And then the first half of it was like a Kim Porter tribute because he had it in the back screen, blah, blah. And the other part was Biggie. And it was cute. And then I hated, actually, I'm not going to admit it, but basically Carisha, my good old Carisha, Young Miami, was in the audience with a board saying, "Go Pappy." And I thought, it's interesting. We won't discuss that.
Yeah, she's not, but she's happy.
Yeah,
She's ticking her boxes, innit? Everyone's got different boxes to tick.
Her box has never been ticked. So
Yeah,
that's good. I'm here for it.
It's been TikToked. It's fine.
But yeah, BT looked fun. It looked great. That's it.
Yeah,
and
I think
then
Nella was there and Harry Panera as well.
that's it.
It's just nice to see, do you know what
London
I mean?
people being
some of our favorite faces out there, so that's cool.
It's really cute. And then Brent has because we had a conversation on Friday, I believe it was. There's a voice note from a listener.
Oh shit!
That Brent would like to play.
Let me take my earrings off. Oh jeez.
We're still here, guys. Don't worry, we're still here. We're just trying to
Mm-hmm.
get all the headphones on and stuff, you know. All right.
Hey y'all, it's King Kateen defending your right to have an honest and open discussion without offending anyone. I am here about the last episode. I believe it was Friday when y'all were talking about the whole bi thing, man coming out and how y'all wouldn't care. And I feel like you can have an honest discussion and say, hey, I wouldn't be comfortable with that without offending anyone. And I don't feel like you were having that honest discussion. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you're bi, you like getting rossed up by men, that's okay. But it's not for me. I like my men straight. And I'm talking about you, Koi, and you, Esther.
Talking about y'all driving asses.
I'm so sorry. Fair. Because the shade that was gonna fly. Do you know what? Thank you for sending in the message and all of that. I think what you saw, in fact, let me tell you what you saw. You saw somebody considering options, like, and that's
No,
fine.
I saw somebody pussyfooting around.
No, you saw someone considering options. That's just it. Like, I'm listening to something and I'm like, I know what I've been taught. I know what I've been like raised with, but let's actually have a conversation. So if you want me to just come out with whatever's the most entertaining and whatever's the most common to you, that's not me being real. Like, I'm actually, and if I wanted to be fake, I could have played that just to be stubborn. You lot saw me have like a real thought arc, and that's what it was. So yeah, but thanks for pronouncing my name correctly. Thanks for watching the show.
I think first we have a very nice voice, very attractive voice.
Not you shooting your shot.
I'm definitely not doing that. I think that I would say we
Yeah.
were very clear about our stance and what we thought. I don't think that we were trying to be anything. I don't think we gave any opinions that is outside of what we genuinely believe. I think that, in all honesty, defending your right not to be offended, it sounds like you're projecting. It sounds like you're projecting. To cut a long story short.
You wanted a particular response. You
You didn't get it, and so automatically you assume then that we're not being our real selves. So thank you for sending a voice note in. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for engaging with the show. But it's a lot of projecting.
Where are you from as well?
It's a lot of projecting, and look at that.
I like this, you know. We need more voice notes from listeners. 100%.
Yeah, we've been saying that though.
Why is Muggs laughing? I would like to know that.
We need more voice notes.
Why are you laughing?
Because he's going to watch this back and think, fuck, what a waste of time, man. They're still chatting shit.
No, but
Basically,
my
he's going
question,
to watch it back
do you
and
know
think, rah, they're still...
Do
I
you know-
gave them
do
the
you know
alley-oop and they're still chatting shit.
But
He's like, "Alright."
why does truth have to look like one thing? Like, do
Exactly.
you know how close-minded that is? And I'm not saying that to you because
Go
you came really like respectful, so I have nothing but respect back. But I don't know, it's like, this is what I think you're telling me you wanted to hear. What? Someone that's fucking man. I would never fuck a guy that's fucking man. We had a question
Yeah.
No.
and we literally discussed. I sat here and I thought, I literally said, and I think Esther said the same thing.
Mhm.
We're fully aware of what the idea is right now, that everyone feels like they can't say whatever. But let's actually have a conversation. Growing up, that would have been an absolute no-no. And I'm thinking, but that's because I had all these things that I was told in it as I grow up and I
We just asked you some questions. You was prepared that you was talking like you're prepared to entertain relationships with a man that you know's at chopping up other men and that.
But
Just because of you want to seem to be like you don't want to offend anyone. You're not prepared to entertain that.
But you know what
you're
it
not
was?
doing that.
That
Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
That
So
conversation.
you don't have to be rude or disrespectful to anybody
Yeah.
about it. He's saying just be honest. You're not doing that.
No, we were. Because I will tell you why we were. Because when we were having that conversation was about the person in dilemma. We were telling her what we would do in that situation. When the conversation switched to what we would do personally, we made it clear. When you guys was asking if I would have sex with my man with dildo, what was it again? Pegging or something like
Pegging,
that?
yeah.
What's the term?
yeah,
Pegging.
thank you.
Yeah. What did I say? I said no. And Coy literally was like, do you know what? Okay, let me think about it, blah, blah. So when the conversation switched to our personal lives, we gave the answers that we really feel. But when we're helping someone with a dilemma, we still said what we would do in that situation. The scenario is different. But not in that scenario, it's a different, and I don't like how you're smiling because you act like you don't believe me. You're
And-
like,
I do
"No,
believe
And
you.
No,
also,
you
I
don't.
feel like I'm personally in a season where I'm just thinking about like sex as I grew up and sex as I want it to be. Like, it's actually a conversation. Like, there's more risky things being asked in the bedroom every single day. Like, and I was literally being very honest. Like, that's the maddest thing. I could have given such a what's it called? Expected answer, and I was actually thinking in real time.
I was trying to be
But
politically
anyway,
correct.
Bro,
I think that was
it would have
peace.
been, you know what my market is? It would have been so much easier for me to be like, no, But I was like, yo, let me like really sit down and think about it. Then I was like,
Because I do like straight men, but the dilemma in front of me was not about straight men. It was about a bisexual man.
I don't know.
Furthermore,
Anyway,
I think
don't
it's
worry.
projecting.
It sounds like at least there's always your opinion represented through somebody. So Mars
And
had your
Mars has
opinion.
that, yeah.
So do you know what I mean? Send him a thank you message.
Probably a killie.
Do you know what I mean? And I
Why do
can't
we play
remember. It doesn't sound like a killie though. This person doesn't sound. They sound like they're from overseas. I really want to know.
Nah, because you even started using your intro.
I even let it ride.
That
I
is a
didn't want.
killie.
I didn't want to talk like that. But you know when the intro connects, I hear it.
Nah,
people.
he did well with
I
that.
hear it. I hear it.
But no, we do appreciate you.
And it was really
inviting him.
respectful. So we do appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
But don't let Mark lead you astray, man. It's not
Yeah.
good.
And accept people for their opinions.
Yeah.
We're all unicorns. We're all different.
Oh my gosh, don't worry. I can give you the generic answers if you want.
I won't.
And that's that. All right then. Well,
That's all the word that's on the road.
are we ready to jump into the People's Journal?
I don't know if you wanted to say that so excitedly when you read the message.
Can I just say Emman is back tomorrow? I know you guys have missed him. Okay, so Emman saw the clip that was put up on TJ's Insta page. If you follow and you're not a thief, you would see it as well. And paused his holiday festivities to call Brent and ask him to remove it. He was quoted saying, "I need to call Margs and ask him to defend my good name in the face of Yusuf's treachery whilst I'm gone." Sounds a lot like Brent. This is absolutely
Definitely.
scandalous behavior. Still sounds like Brent. This is why the black community will never heal. Black men so quick to tear down other black men sounds like Emman. So it's definitely a mixed bag. But it seems like he wasn't happy with some of the stuff he said.
Yeah.
I'm screaming because, Emman called to say take it down. But further, it says the clip, if the listeners want to see it, is on our TikTok.
That's definitely Brent.
Brent orchestrated this whole thing. Me and Eman spoke anyway. Obviously, a bit about them, innit? I said to Eman, look, listen, Eman, I posed a question. These man didn't even say no, you know. They just started doing all sorts. I'm like, why didn't they say no?
Why did you pose the question?
Because I'm troublemaker in that moment. But you guys should have just said, Eman, cheat? Never.
So
You're
you
like, we're like,
So you started a fire.
Yeah.
We didn't enter the fire with you.
Mhm.
Then you went behind our back
Why
to
didn't
act as
you
if
try
you were
and
the
put the fire
firefighter.
out? Why didn't you try to put the fire
That
out?
is
started it.
crazy.
What's the answer to the question?
You started it.
What's the answer to the question?
You started it.
No, the
You
answer
said, why
to-
did I put the fire out?
What's
Because
the
you
answer to the
started.
question?
You started the
Why
fire.
didn't you say the answer?
You started the fire.
But what's the answer to the question?
You just asked me, why did I put the fire out? That's the question. I remember.
A question was posed to all three of you. Neither of you gave an answer. Why?
Are you okay? We did.
We
said
did.
no.
We said no.
When?
But then I asked you, so if we did say yes,
What would you have done?
What would you have done?
Why would you? I'll say you should have lied.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
You know yourself very well.
Yeah.
But the
All I'm
idea
gonna
is
say
that
is that,
you shouldn't
yeah.
have supposed. No, I'm
No.
joking. It was entertaining as
Yeah,
well.
tell me. No, I said to Eman, you know, obviously.
Oh, you
So,
called
do
you?
you know what? No, did Emman message you or did you message Emman?
I
There's
can
only
read-
one right answer here.
I'll check.
Yusuf.
I'll check.
Yeah, because if you didn't message Eman to give him the heads up, you're wrong.
I'll check.
No, I'm thinking if he did what he did on the
Then
show,
you know you're
then
wrong.
he messaged Eman. That's sneaky.
Eman. Okay, cool. Let me give you the story.
Oh,
That's just a
shit.
simple
but
question. You
plus, give you the Eman updates. I'm giving Eman updates. I'm taking screenshots. All right, so
okay, before you do all of this,
Yeah.
did you approach
I'm
Eman or
getting-
did Eman approach you?
he approached me, but I'm gonna tell you how it happened. So Eman was poolside, looking sexy with the glasses. People, here we go.
Not sexy.
I sent eyes in. I just said eyes, right? And then Eman hit me with the LOL big man use. I thought you was on my side. But them lines of questioning was mad. Bare laughing emojis. I said, bro, I'm on your side. But them man just had to say no.
Why are we in it?
Why is it them, man?
Why-
Because I'm throwing you in there.
This is a group chat. This is between you.
I said,
This
them
is your-
man. I said, them
your
man.
friends.
As in, y'all free. Treacherous ass. Then, E-Man, this is more E-Man updates, right? E-Man and the bros, them. The pink shirt looking
I
flagrant.
don't ever seen that.
But this
Is that
is
close friends?
But this is the one though.
It's not.
E-Man, this is the one. E-Man was posing next to a sign that said vegan, vegetarian, yeah?
Oh yeah, that killed me.
With the shirt open. Look at the abs.
Wow.
Fam, look
Even
at the
said this
abs.
is how I got that.
That
Being
is
vegan and vegetarian.
crazy.
Proper.
Flagrant.
Yo, E-Man,
Brent.
if you dare come here with a shirt again, yeah, that is
You see that?
crazy.
He's got like 8. Is that 8?
What's that?
No,
That
guys,
is
it
like-
actually looks like a
No,
you know,
that's-
like when you draw
bread
it.
rolls, like, yeah.
That's insane. Is that better than you? I don't even know what you're carrying. Sorry, but like that is
That
really
is
good.
that is the shot of the holiday. No?
I need to see that on your feed because that is
Yeah, that's
content.
a good
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good thought picture there though. Honestly, you're a bad bee. You go get a free flight.
I told you he's trying to be an influencer.
All right then.
Yo, so we're going to talk about how this guy is one rule for one and next rule for Davido.
Which
Why is
guy?
he calling me and asking me to move stuff? He's involved himself into this particular minefield, right? Everybody's warriors here, right? We basically laugh at ourselves. Why is he telling me to move stuff?
I don't really like where Brent's taking this.
No,
We
but
were
it's a
complimenting my
question,
man.
yeah.
You know why he told you to remove stuff.
It's on TikTok.
And you're a troublemaker. Exactly. And that's why I'm going to tell him it's on TikTok. He can flag it up
That
as well.
is so funny.
Yeah, he messaged me too.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he said,
Do you know what it is? He messaged wrong people.
He's saying,
Yeah,
what the
because we
hell?
actually had his back.
No, but
We
the
actually
thing
had
is,
his
if
But
you
you
lot
know
would have
E-Man
I
is
got E-Man's back.
intrinsically-
if you lot would have just done your job and said, E-Man, cheat, never. Like, you should have given that vim though.
I'm sorry,
No.
E-Man can't talk
But we
about
did
polygyny.
though.
You
First of
did.
all, we did. But E-Man can't talk about polygyny for 7 episodes in a row
is it.
and us not have a little bit of
Curiosity.
delayed reaction. We still rode for you, innit? It just was 4 seconds later than
We
planned.
The
That is-
pause was because we couldn't believe Yusuf would say such a thing.
Thank you, Esther.
Then
And
we're like, whoa.
the silence was showing support for you for Eman.
Because we're like, how could you think that?
Was it?
E-Man, the only
You said-
person,
100%.
the only
E-Man.
person that tried to set you up here today begins with a Y.
No, because my
Ends
answer
with
is,
you.
my,
I think
my
it
answer
starts
is
with
no.
B and ends with a T.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. But he already knows that. That's their love affair. But
Boy.
all right then. Well, that's the E-Man update. Tomorrow, E-Man will be back with more reasons why we need to earn more money. But let's head over to the rotations. We should drop an album.
As in the group.
Yeah. I would love
Yeah.
to be a chorus babe.
Who will be the Omarion?
I ain't seen French Montana.
Yeah, I'll explain. All right, so welcome to The Rotation, your weekly music deep dive conversation, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to get into, you know what it is, Brent? Obviously, I don't know my allotted time frame for this, and there's a lot of music released, so I couldn't talk about everything, innit? So I've chosen the ones I thought, were best. So we're going to get into, obviously, Chris Brown's album, Breezy. We're going to get into some DaBaby and Davido, going back to that, that little whatever
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, situation that
Stuff that
happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
YG also has a single, and I might be able to help Brent out and freestyle some thoughts about French Montana as well. All right, so let's start off with Chris Brown.
Breezy.
He released his 10th solo album entitled Breezy, the first album since 2019's Indigo. All right, so Breezy, we got 24 tracks, 1 hour and 20 minutes, so it's quite a long one.
Mm-hmm.
Features, listen, a lot. Little Durk, Capetta Gray, Fabio Foreign, Little Wayne, Young Blue, Little Baby, Wizkid, Her, Bryson Tiller, LMA, ESTG, Jack Harlow, Tory Lanez. It goes on and on and on.
No, it doesn't. That's where it ends. Yusuf, don't try it.
You're right. That's just a part of my.
Come for my babes.
That's a part of my speech. I tried to look up producers, but the main producer I see is a guy called Rockstar. He's like credited the most. Wiki never really gave me the whole rundown, but his name was quite prominent on there. All right. So for me, it's a fun album. A mixture of up-tempo and melodic R&B. Songs you can dance to, songs for the women. A bit too much auto-tune and reverb for me. I'm not really a big fan of that.
What's the reverb?
Reverb is like the effects.
Okay.
that
Do you know, Esther wants to
Auto-tune
know
gives.
what it is that she needs to protect her man from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This album is kind of what you expected from Chris Brown, I
Yeah.
believe. It's kind of in line with his last, say, 2 or 3 albums. Nothing really stood out. The album is good, but to me, it was missing a bit of an X factor. There wasn't any real great moments, just cool moments, a nice cohesive body of work, good songs, good
You need
production.
more time.
What's that?
You might need more time.
I do sometimes.
Because you said Hotel Lobby wasn't good, and that's a smash.
Yeah, but I still don't think it's good.
That's cold.
You think so?
I told you as well. I warned you.
Also, just to give the listeners a, you know, the inside. Obviously, music comes out on Friday, so I've only got 3 days to listen to it before Monday, innit? So just bear that in mind. My favorite songs. Let me just go to the track listing again. Also, Esther, I want your thoughts. I know you listened to it. I'm not sure about everyone else.
Yes, I did. Don't cut me out of the conversation.
Sorry.
No, some.
I literally did it because you asked as well.
All right, thank you. All right, cool. So I'll just name some of my favorites and you guys can give me your thoughts. Catch a Body featuring Fabio Foreign. Possessive. I really like Lil Wayne's verse on that. What else do I like on this? Oh, Show It with Blast. I like that as well. I'll say right now, this is probably my top 3. Esther, what are your thoughts on this? This album?
I liked it. I like everything Chris Brown does. It's just great.
Yeah.
I do think, like you said, I don't think there was like any like wow factor to it.
Yeah.
It's what I expected with Chris.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got his own sound, and he just walks in that light. To be honest,
yeah.
I like it. I thought it was a good album. I think though, for the first time, I will say, I don't think All 24 was needed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a business reason why he releases so many tracks. Maybe he just wants to stream crazy.
Yeah.
But he needs to cut it down a bit. Make the album a bit more digestible, a bit more palatable, easier to intake. When it's too long.
It is long. I had to,
hour 20 minutes.
It's a lot. I would say my favorites, I like Psychic with Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
I like Woman Brace. Like I love when Chris gets in his R&B, like I love you bag.
Yeah.
Just love it. I like Sex Memories with LMA. I like the one with Bryson Tiller as well. I like the one Tory Lanez. I like that. Yeah. I think it was a good album. I think we could have done with less.
Are you surprised with how many features he had on there?
No, I expected that.
Okay.
Yeah. I was hoping for like more of a female rapper type of tune though. Like I don't know, like a Meg or Cardi or something like that.
Okay.
That kind of, I want him to get into that kind of bag.
Yeah.
Like a more dancey kind of vibe. But
I hear you. Koi, what's your thoughts?
So I started listening to the album, and then I just started enjoying his old songs.
Yeah.
I just randomly, because it streams.
Screaming.
And it just made me appreciate his old stuff. But I did really like Addicted with Lil Baby and Call Me Every Day with Wizkid.
Okay.
I will say though,
song,
that's because I probably got to like about Psychic. This is a lot of songs. And it started to get a bit...
I like that Wizkid song. I think the beat on the Wizkid tune, I think it's cold.
No, I really liked it.
I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it.
No,
I skipped it.
Is it? I remember you were talking about it before.
Yeah, it was a single.
Yeah,
but I didn't listen to it when you.
I
okay.
didn't listen to it then. Yeah.
So I heard it, and I thought
I was vibing to it.
I thought, I just like the beat, the music. Like,
I feel like it was. Do you think it was a bit off with the whole album?
Yeah, I think in the sequence of the album, it sticks out too much. It just sounds so different from the rest.
That's what I found. That's why I probably paid more attention to it, because at one point I was getting a bit
Do you
bored.
reckon?
Yeah,
I think it comes in quite early, and it starts off. It starts off all on that kind of wave. Because I think the album starts off kind of cold still.
No,
it definitely does.
No, even the intro, Till the Wheels Fall Off, I think is cold as well.
Yeah, I like that. I really
but
like
I think
Wavy.
what's that?
Wavy.
The intro, isn't it? The intro's
Yeah,
cold,
super wavy,
proper cold.
like, super cold, all the way up until like.
I think
what's this?
you know what it is, because Call Me Every Day is the only Afrobeat style song. It just obviously nowhere unless it's right at the end.
Yeah.
It's not going to sound cohesive anywhere because it's completely different from everything else.
No, I was driving, listening to it in the sun and all that, and it felt like it. It felt like it didn't feel out of place to me.
Yeah,
it felt kind of cool. I liked a lot of the songs.
Yeah,
on there still. I've liked most of the album just so the songs can come up.
Yeah,
like bare of them, all of them. Like the intro to Catch a Body.
Yeah,
Possessive's cold. Addicted, dope. Obviously, I said I like the Wizkid one, and then some of the slower ones. The Blast one and Psychic's cold as well. I think this is good.
It's a very good album. I like it.
It's good.
Survive the Night, Dream, those ones towards the later are nice as well. I think it's all right. Again though, it is a lot of music.
A lot to take in,
and that probably is to do with what you're saying with the streaming and stuff like that. Because once you reach a certain threshold, then you get to certain places. I can't remember the science behind it, but it probably is that. And he's done it on the last two of them.
Yeah.
But the last few projects he's had haven't really done anything for me.
Really?
Yeah.
No, not really, if I'm honest. But there's a good few songs on here that I can listen
Yeah.
to.
I think Chris he's just kind of coasting on his wave, innit? He's not really breaking any boundaries.
Yeah, I don't
he's
think
not
he's
really
caring
pushing himself.
to,
He's just
yeah.
doing what he does best, which is make, wavy, fun music you can vibe to, innit?
I agree with
So he hasn't, I don't feel he's disappointed. I don't feel he's impressed me enough, but he's just giving me what I expected, innit?
that.
So this album, it makes a rotation.
Yay.
It makes a rotation still. Obviously, it being so long, what I might do is pick out my favorite
Yeah.
couple, put it into a playlist, and that'll be me, innit? I'm not gonna listen to the album from top to finish again because it's too damn long. But yeah, shout out to Chris Breezy. We appreciate the music.
I can't wait for the tour. Oh my gosh.
All right, next up, we got a single from YG, West Coast rapper YG. The single is called Run, featuring BR, 21 Savage, and Tiger. Second single this year, following up from Scared Money, which featured J. Cole and Moneybagg Yo. That song was wavy. So maybe there's an album coming soon, as this is his second single.
Yeah.
Obviously, big feature, so obviously money's being spent. Video is wavy as well. Him and Tiger, I think they're imitating the Kardashians in the video. They're like doing some bank robbery. Song just about money, basically. Running the bands up, very braggadocious, boastful kind of song, talking about money, lifestyle, pursuit of peace, whatever. Kind of appeals to a younger rap fan. Nice beat, lots of drums. Like I said, the video was cool. Nothing really to say here, except check it out. Might be something you want to listen to in the gym, on the drive. Doesn't make the rotation
It doesn't.
for a week. A weekend is out. All right, next up, we got DaBaby and Davido. So obviously, if you've been paying attention, Esther was reporting on DaBaby's antics in Nigeria.
Yeah.
They were shooting a video for this song a few weeks ago. This was when he was handing out, it was throwing money, innit?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Throwing Money,
yes,
yeah.
Throwing Money, yeah.
So yeah, so the song has finally come out. The song is Showing Off Her Body. That's the name of the song. This is DaBaby's first release since his joint album with NBA Youngboy called Better Than You. And this is Davido's first single since Stand Strong, which features Kanye's Sunday Service Choir. This song for me, have you listened to the song?
No.
All right. The song isn't good for me. The song isn't good. It's an okay beat. The vibe isn't strong enough. It's Afro beats. DaBaby doesn't sound great vocally. I feel like DaBaby's voice ruins the song. It's a disappointing collab considering the magnitude of both artists.
Yeah.
When you got two big artists, especially from two different genres, and they come together to collab, you expect something great. But this kind of falls very short. It's kind of a throwaway song, to be fair.
Yeah.
I feel like money was wasted, I'll be very honest.
Really?
Yeah, even the video was whack.
Really?
Yeah, this is running around Nigeria filming people.
Oh, damn, I wish I knew. I would have listened to
The
it before.
video doesn't give... The video,
Doesn't
and I
give
think
much.
in the video as well, he was trying to depict some scenes of Coming to America when Hakeem was back in, what's the place called?
Zamunda.
Zamunda, yeah, right. Yeah, it's very lackluster. I wish you, I know you're Afrobeats queen.
I know, I wish I knew.
So I wish you heard it. That's my fault, to be fair. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize this was out until last night. So this was a late
Oh,
edition.
really? Oh.
And I kicked Brent. Basically, I kicked off French for this. Basically,
You kicked off Friends to Cuss My Baby's Davido.
I kicked off because I thought because you spoke about prior,
Oh,
this
yeah,
would be
yeah,
a
it's
more
good, yeah.
of a meatier
Ooh,
song to review, innit?
range. Love it.
So this does not make the rotation. I'm
Shit.
disappointed. I expected better from Davido. Not really DaBaby. I'm not really the DaBaby fan, but I expected better from two big artists collabing.
What do you think was the actual issue? Do you think it was a lack of chemistry? Like,
I think the beat wasn't great. I think they could have picked a better beat. And just like DaBaby proved when he tried to do Essence remake or remix, whatever that was, he doesn't sound great on Afrobeats.
You were serious about that? I thought that was a joke.
okay.
Yeah, no, DaBaby doesn't sound great on Afrobeats. His voice doesn't give, and I don't think he has the vocal range or the talent to change his voice to suit Afrobeats. He doesn't sound great. If you guys listen today, maybe give me your thoughts tomorrow. All right. The reason why, the funny thing is, Brent, I saw you post French's song. I thought, okay, Brent wants me to talk about this. So I'll freestyle this one though. All right, so French Montana released a brand new project called Montega with his often, sometimes collaborator, producer, Harry Fraud. Harry Fraud is behind a lot of French's
I heard he's cold.
biggest songs. Yeah, Harry Fraud is cold. Harry Fraud is cold. So this project is 12 songs long, 38 minutes, very digestible. I listened to it twice once in the gym, and once just driving. Features, you got Rick Ross, you got ESTG, you got Benny the Butcher, you got Jadakiss, you got Quavo, you got Chinks, R.I.P. Again, I didn't write a review for this because I wasn't going to talk about it. So, but this is, it's good beats. Harry Ford is known for his, I'll say, New York soundish kind of beats, and that gives you that. What you expect from French, that Coke boy kind of, you know, just obviously French isn't the most lyrical person. French more so gives you just swag and bravado and vibe, and that's kind of what you got from this. You got a lot of swag. You got a lot of, obviously he's outshone by a lot of the better rappers on here. So the track with Jadakiss and Benny, obviously French got blown out of the water, but obviously French gives you what French gives you in it. Yeah, the album's decent. I like most of the beats on here. I like the vibe. I like the cohesiveness of it. And yeah, not much to say.
Would it make the decision?
You know what? If I'm honest, no.
Not one song.
Oh, song. Yeah, okay, sorry. As a whole,
Okay.
no, but certain songs. My favorite song off here is Bricks and Bags,
Okay.
featuring featuring Jadakiss and Benny the Butcher, but mainly because of the features. I like the beat as well. This album, because it's very short, it might get another spin in the gym. But also, this album kind of came out of nowhere, to be fair. I didn't see no promo, no video, no single. It just, boom.
It's out.
It was just
Beyonce
out.
started a trend.
Yeah, just out still. And then lastly, just a shout out, just a mention, shout out to Miss Banks. She released a new single called Bounce. I believe she's got an album or EP or project coming called Bank Statement. This is off of that.
That's smart.
She's also got another song on this project called Party featuring Naira Marley, which you guys might have
I
heard.
heard that.
And her song that she released earlier the year, Type Away, with Tion Wayne, that's also on this. So this project is going to be 9 songs long, 28 minutes, so it's going to be a nice short one. So she's released 3 songs so far. Check out Bounce. That's her new one off that. So yeah.
She has a video for Bounce in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all these
yeah,
songs
so-
she has
Videos.
videos for. Miss Banks is very hardworking, you know. She puts out
She
music
works, she puts in work.
on a very consistent basis.
Very hard.
She's
work.
a worker way
That's
over
why
to
she's always getting booked for shows.
Mm.
If you notice, Miss Banks is always
Nah,
on
she
these
stays
festival
booked.
lineups
Yeah.
because she puts out so much music, so much singles, just keeps her relevant, keeps her rolling.
Mm.
So Bounce is another solid song from her that you're probably going to hear her perform on stage, in the clubs or whatnot. So yeah, shout out to Miss Banks. And yeah, man, that's the rotation, guys.
Lovely.
I'll
Thank
be
you.
back next week with another music breakdown.
We can't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does the rotation have its own playlist yet? I feel like this was a production question.
Soon come.
Okay.
Management.
Guys, be screaming for that. If it wasn't for you, there's so much new music I wouldn't listen to. So yeah, man. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe. Can't be getting music, tea, headlines for free. Come on, don't be a thief.
Exactly.
All right, let's head into the Love Island the day after. Back in Mallorca, is that it? Or was it
Yeah,
Madrid?
Mallorca,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, see, I got it right.
Whatever you want us to be, babe.
Thank you. In Nigeria. Guys, Love Island, we're going to capture Friday's episode and Sunday's episode. So, what are people's thoughts? Does everyone remember what happened on Friday?
So Friday was the elimination, right?
I adore you because boy, I was going to make some stuff up.
Oh no,
Yes.
sorry, it wasn't elimination. Sorry, it was a recoupling.
Recoupling, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, that was when Davido lips off Danica, but then didn't pick her.
Yeah.
Justice, if the producer was on job, he would have noticed that, but I guess not.
Yeah.
He'd rather just interrupt when I'm talking and stuff.
And also,
Yeah, justice for Danica.
after all that Tasha Charlie stuff, he never picked her anyway. So Tasha and Andrew having all this back and forth stuff
Can I say
because
this
of
is
the threat of Charlie, but Charlie didn't even pick her.
Okay,
Can I
but
say this is self-inflicted? Sorry, Danica's situation. Can we agree that it's self-inflicted?
it's self-inflicted.
What do you mean? What do
Because
you mean?
if she had just picked one of the new guys,
The dancing rapper.
and then got to and moved around,
Yeah.
she
But that wasn't
embarrassed
her
herself,
sort.
and now she's been embarrassed twice because Jax had to pick her.
She bet on her sauce and it wasn't sufficient. And the thing is that she's actually a
Definitely
nice
not.
looking babe.
This is no one in there for her.
There's just no one in there for her. But then
Yeah.
what she needs to do is sit, like, okay, not what she needs to do, but then play it through to the end, sit in it instead of like entertaining Davido. And I know Davido is like they're both entertaining each other, but pretending like they're not.
Do you really think that?
As in, she's needs somebody. Right?
No, but she and Davido kissed. He picked someone else, which I thought was mad.
That was mad rude.
And then Davido at the moment, he and Ekinsu are doing like, we're divorced, but we might get back to reunite.
I don't buy it.
I don't feel like I feel like there's nobody in there for her.
There's nobody
And
in
I
there
think
for
it's
her.
just, it's kind of embarrassing at this point.
But that's what I'm saying, because she's not sitting in it.
There's
Like,
nothing to sit in.
as in, sit alone.
She just about has a seat.
But do you know she gets no screen time?
There's
but
nothing
she ain't
about
doing
her.
that to warrant any screen time, innit?
Do you reckon she makes it to Casa Amar?
No.
I don't think she makes it to.
I think the
what's
next
tomorrow's
week
date?
she's out.
Tuesday. I don't think she makes it to Tuesday.
makes it to Tuesday.
I don't think she makes it to Tuesday.
Nah, she should quit.
Nah,
I
she should.
think-
She's
I don't
actually
think
pretty,
she's
you
gonna
know.
make the next
She's
one.
decent.
She's actually nice, and
Got
you know who
strong
else
thighs
isn't
and thing.
getting the time that I feel like they should be getting?
Yeah.
I missed that. So what did you say?
No, so she's decent.
Okay.
No, he said something after.
Yeah, there was something else.
Strong
That's-
size.
Oh yeah, so she's got strong thighs and
No,
No, she's got.
Yeah, no,
nice
she,
body.
she's
She's a
got
dancer,
a nice
remember?
body.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
she's yeah,
She
no.
be
When she
them-
shakes, it's not just her bum, her thighs as well. Like
Yeah.
she's in it. And
Antigone.
you know what I'm gonna say, girl. Yeah.
I think she gets screen
Antigone.
time.
I don't think she gets as
I
much
can't
screen
actually.
time.
She's just got. You have to wait your turn.
But I think she's actually. Do you know what she did? That was really nice. It happened on Friday. I'm gonna bring it up though. I think it happened on Friday. She donated one outfit to Ekinsu.
Oh yeah, it's for a date.
That was really nice. But guys, you see this eBay collaboration they're doing?
What are your big collaborations?
It's not giving.
So basically, usually, yeah, it's I saw it first, and that's why the girls like
They
when they
look
come out
trendy
trendy
and on
they've
time.
got clothing lines lined up because
Oh,
you
okay,
get to
okay.
see their fashion sense.
Yeah,
But this time, it's promoting sustainable fashion, and
sustainable.
so it's sustainable.
So it's like-
energy.
So it's stuff that's been worn before, so like pre-loved clothing,
yeah,
or like stuff that
not
people are selling.
pre-loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the nice way of saying it. I don't have a problem with that.
So
in a
before was
vintage
they
era.
had designers on there and stuff.
Not
No,
designers,
it was
but
like-
trendy stuff.
Yeah, trendy stuff. I mean, you could bring your own clothes at school because people would have like
Yeah.
whatever brands, but they were sponsored by like. So imagine that being sponsored by Pretty Little Thing.
Yeah.
So it was I saw it first, and then I saw it first would then have like
I don't
on the
understand. What
page.
I saw it first.
It's like Pretty
No,
Little
that's-
Thing.
it's like
another-
Pretty Little Thing,
it's
yeah.
another brand.
That's why I use
Oh,
the example.
okay,
Yeah, sorry,
okay.
it's like Pretty Little Thing. So basically, I saw it first is a clothing brand, right?
Yeah.
It's like Pretty Little Thing, like ASOS, like Boohoo. So they've been sponsoring the show for like a few years now, actually, I would say. But this time they're doing it sustainable. Obviously, that's fast fashion. So the girls are trying to
eBay
step
came
away
with
from,
the money,
Yeah, they're kind of step away from the fast fashion. So I think eBay came with definite money.
with the coins. Yeah,
So now they're doing like recyclable fashion.
yeah, like clothes that's been worn before, whatever.
So the stuff
eBay's
that they're
doing.
actually wearing on the show is old clothes and stuff.
Yeah, unless they brought it
They
with them
could
as
have
well.
bought their own clothes. Of course, they came with a suitcase, right? But they came with a suitcase that I don't think would last you 2 months, right? So
Yeah.
there's going to be additional clothing. Here's the thing, though. Some of them are making it work, and then some of them are page.
What pages are making it work?
What, that denim
there
ensemble?
was this
ensemble?
pearl lapel collar thing that she was wearing the other day when she was tussling with Jay.
She was dressed like Migos.
She looked insane. Like she looked insane. I literally just tweeted.
She's so silly.
Quick question: what's Paige wearing?
She is so silly.
It looked
Oh,
mad.
is it? I don't know.
She looked
She
silly.
looked like
Like
it.
silly is the word. She's silly.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't give.
Yeah, why are there pearls all over your outfit? Anyway, so that's just a side
Okay.
note.
Also, you know that everyone has, not everyone, but a lot of the boys have designer crips. Like a lot of them. Like Dior's and
Louis and
Louis.
But that's
and
what
all
you
that.
guys invest in.
You guys are peed off, innit?
Do you know? I think when you go,
But a lot
when
of
you're
them
gonna
are. When you go on
Love
Love Island, you see them. They're all designer crap.
They all
Like
win-
Rolexes.
yeah,
and
always.
crap
Yeah,
and
I
that.
feel like you got. You got to step in.
You got to step
Yeah,
in.
a lot of them-
You got to be drippy.
A lot of them come into the game.
Right.
A lot of them come to the game with a little something.
Yeah, no, I
not
see
on
all
the
the time.
floor.
You have to. But I do think that this year, though, like, I feel like this year, everyone's looked at previous season and said, you know what, I want to be. They picked the
Correct.
character they like.
There's not
I want to
been-
be Jack. I want
There's
to be
not been
Ovi. I want
one
to be this.
black bad hair day. Not one.
Hmm?
Not one.
Now,
So far.
someone tried to ruin it for us.
Oh,
I feel.
oh no, I was gonna say she don't count, but she does. Alright, cool.
She counts.
Alright, cool.
But to be fair, though, when we had Priscilla, and Priscilla did
But she
say,
was kidnapped and thrown into the house. There was no way they gave her warning.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and she
saying.
didn't
Like,
leave
when
out.
Priscilla came and said that you're basically in the country, but you have to wait your turn to go in.
Mm.
Still can't lie because what is this, 3rd week now, and India's hair is still going strong and
She
looking
still
fresh
has
every
a
day.
streak. It hasn't grown out nothing. Well done.
So
honestly, well
I feel a
done.
baby girl. I don't know about it.
But okay, so what else has happened? Can we just jump to Tasha? I feel like let's just jump to Tasha. So we all know that Tasha hates Andrew's guts. She hates him, right?
Did you see her face when she woke up next to him?
Bro,
And he was like, did you see Paul? She was like, no.
yo, okay, let's just go into Tasha because Tasha is she's doing my head in, right? So Tasha is with someone called Andrew. We all know this, but every girl that comes into the house, she entertains them.
Mm.
They just don't pick her. the problem with that is that it's such a trend. Do you know that serial killers, you start to see a trend. So Dami and Luca have seen the trend. They're like, yo, Andrew stays into this girl.
Yeah.
And this girl was always chopping outside. And then come and do lovey love when it's time to get back on you.
Yeah.
She's told him, on 3 occasions, she's told him to either slow down or keep it open. He's like, there's nobody else in the house for me. He needs to stand up. Like,
no, I need somebody to come in and
No,
he's
he
just
needs
like,
to stand
Tasha,
he
who?
needs to stand up.
I need
I don't
that.
think
You
he
can't
will,
be
though.
You can't hug up on a woman who's not trying to
She's
hug
done
you.
it again. She's
Yeah,
told
she
my
did
man the
again.
ball's in your court, and then she never got picked again.
But don't
Yeah.
you feel like the guys are getting a bit frustrated with him as well?
With
'Cause
Andrew.
you know, he
everyone
basically
feels-
said that he's gonna context with listeners. He's gonna give her space because she's in the whole. He likes me. Went on one date. Like sis went on one measly little date with Charlie, and I just feel like there's been other guys that really could have shook the table. I didn't think Charlie was the hill she wanted to die on, but so she said she's gonna get to know Charlie, blah blah.
But that's how much she doesn't want Andrew.
Yeah, and that's what's showing to me. So she's actually gonna get to know him, blah blah. So he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give her space, right?
Yeah.
The guy's like, yeah, give her space, whatever. He tells the guys, I'm gonna give her space.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do? Hi, Tasha. Luca was like, so much for giving her space. I feel like they're kind of getting a bit.
Yeah, because
Irritated,
Have you
it's
ever
like,
backed the girl
bro.
that everyone has that friend or
Yeah.
has been that friend
Yeah.
that keeps kind of entertaining this person who we know this is not gonna.
Or you say you're done,
You're done, but
you go back.
But then you just have to be there if you want to. I stay being there still because you never know when the table's going to turn.
Okay.
But
We
yeah,
see each other.
ultimately in my head, I just feel like I don't like the fact that she's not sitting in it. She keeps calling herself sassy. I think she said bad B a few times. But then the water work, the water. If she
The
cries one more time,
guarantees.
if she cries one more time, because she'll cry. Do you know why she's crying? Do you know what annoyed me? Right? She didn't go to Andrew. She went to Dami and Luca because what was more important to her was her reputation, not Andrew's
Ooh,
feelings.
Can we touch on that though? Why she
Touch
went
on
on
it.
it? So basically, they were doing the recoupling, right? So this is after. Okay. So already she said to Andrew that she is open. She's not closed off to getting to know Charlie, right? Cool. He's like, all right, cool. He can accept that. He's hurting, but he
his
can
heart
accept
is still
it.
open.
I think his heart is still open. But I think the bit that really got him over the edge and got the boys pissed off
Yeah.
was that he said to her, cool, there's a recoupling soon, yeah? If I picked you, would you lay in bed with me? Do you know what
He said that to who? Charlie or Andrew?
Andrew asked her this.
Yeah.
That if I picked you, would you, 'cause obviously he knows he's up against Charlie, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, in the recoupling, whoever goes first, if I said you to couple up with you, would you sleep in bed with me at night? Do you know what she said?
What?
I don't know.
But why wouldn't she though? If he's picked her.
Because she hates
because you know
his
that
guts.
you do the whole thing where if you're not really feeling the person, you can sleep in a doghouse.
Okay.
So she's saying she slept in bed with this man for 2 solid weeks. Because of one guy that's in for 1 day now, you'd rather sleep in a doghouse. So that, yeah, when he told the guys, they were like, ooh, like literally, they were
Yeah.
pissed off.
He's so
when
used to maltreatment that he doesn't even clock or shade anymore.
Because they were like, literally, Luca was like, nah, that's dead. And he was going off.
yeah.
So when the recoupling happened,
I've always liked that guy, Luca.
yeah, he's
No,
alright.
I don't.
When,
He's muggy.
well, actually, okay. So when the recoupling happened, yeah, and Charlie picked Ekinsu, just happy, my girl's still in there. Andrew then does his whole speech, blah, blah, whatever. She's smiling, right? Luca is like,
Yeah, Dami and man.
he's in a lot. It wasn't even someone damn you know.
But he
Dami was
did the same
representing-
to Danica. This is consistent with him. This Luca is an expressive guy. Okay, let's not be surprised.
He
with
was
this.
rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
He was kissing his teeth.
Mhm.
He was looking at the guys like, do you believe this foolishness? Even Jax was like, so it
Yeah.
was a lot of like, so I think that ruined it because she peeped it and you could see, yeah. Andrew's talking to her, but she kept looking at like their
She didn't
faces.
care. She hates
So
Andrew's
that's why
guts.
that's why she called Dami and Luca up for
But
chat.
deep it though, like, can we really deep it? The problem is, yeah, that Andrew's not standing up and she's not being honest with herself. Like, she doesn't want to be with Andrew, but no one else is really giving her an option. And do you know what's mad? She wants to be seen as the nice girl. She doesn't
She
want to be in the
does.
Ek and Sue boat. She wants to be seen as a nice girl, but she's not doing nice girl things, and that's okay. But sit
Did you see
in
when
it.
she cried, yeah? And Dami was like, oh no, like he hugged her.
Yeah.
And Luca was like,
Yeah, I'm not a prick. Yeah.
then he moved up, he literally moved up one,
Luca-
still didn't say anything.
Luca and Amber have the same spirit.
No, they did. But Luca's better vibes.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know, speaking of Luca, yeah, apparently everyone knows, because there was, I think they said in the After Sun, so everyone knows who Gemma's dad is. So they knew on day 3. So
Okay.
Luca is definitely fine for them roast dinners on Sunday.
But you know what, as
Sure.
well, Gemma must like him.
She does,
She
she
didn't
does.
play a role in, like, she didn't really say nothing in the show, yeah. But when I look at her body language and her behavior, she stays in vicinity to be
Yeah.
hugged up by him. She
Do you remember
really likes him.
Afia said it.
We'll talk about Afia in a second.
Yeah, she said it that they like each other. Like she's always with him. If Luke, he does. You know how Davido would be like, "Where's Ekin-Su? Where's Ekin-Su?" That's what Jemma does.
Yeah. So it's not one-sided. That's what I say. People
No,
are
it's not, it's
crazy unprovoked unless they're.
But I still
doing
think he's playing a
crazy
game
stuff
though.
unprovoked. Yeah, maybe, but he probably is as well because he doesn't have natural
doubt it.
football skills. So
Because you know what I was
so-
thinking? Do you feel like he wouldn't be able to break her heart because of who her dad is and because he loves he's a fan of her dad? Because that's deep, you know. I can't lie to you.
You lot's favorite team is
Hold on.
what? Manchester and Arsenal.
Arsenal.
If you were dating a girl whose dad was your favorite player
Yeah.
on the team,
Would you break her heart?
how does that how do you change how you navigate?
No.
Mark's definitely wouldn't.
Pussyfooting around, both of y'all.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
No, because I'm not
Change.
interested in her because of her dad. It's a bonus that your dad's whoever.
But you know,
But it's not
I
the
don't
reason.
believe
It's not the reason.
I don't believe both
Okay,
of you.
do you know
You
what
think I'm dating
do you know
someone because of her dad?
do you know what is?
Nah.
I think I can believe it.
The way they love football, they said if they wake up from a 20-year coma, that they want to know
No,
everything that's happened.
no, your dad being whoever is a bonus, but it's not the reason why I'm here. No way.
Okay.
But do you know what? I can kind of believe that because I think with Luca,
Brent, why are you looking at
I'm
that?
saying, would you go to would your treat? Sorry.
Right, let's go. Come on.
Not the
what's he
hand
doing?
clap.
What's he doing?
He's about to ask them a
Can I say
question.
Fergie? Is Fergie right up there for you? Like right up there.
Yeah, enough said, Alex.
Let's just say his daughter with a beanie, like a top notch. Would you treat her even
kind of
better
smile?
because of Fergie?
No. Well,
I'm gonna need a voice note in for this too as well, please.
what I'm trying to say is, yeah,
Trust me.
if unlike your day to day, yeah, she can get extras like treatment and that, rah. But in the grand scheme of things, she's the same as the rest of these bitches.
I know that you would still cheat. 100%.
He didn't even say
but you
bitches
would-
the same way he
you would
used to
try
say bitches.
extra hard not to get her to find out, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you care, you're supposed to try extra hard, and you don't know, not want to get caught. What are we, psychopaths?
I hear that, but if Fergie is there looking at you like, you're my son now, look after my daughter.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, if it was more like, because Fergie, I like Fergie, but like, you ain't got enough. Like, if he was like Bill Gates, then that's different. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because he's gonna change my, you know, then it's
My
different.
apologies. It's the source I should change. Forget about the football.
Yeah.
A guy who you really want to get, you know, in with.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what makes you like,
that. I think it's the generational wealth
Yeah.
Okay.
aspect of things.
Okay.
So if it's that,
Yeah.
then yes,
All right.
every
so
day.
in his head, that little guy, right?
Mhm.
He might see Owen as his Bill Gates.
Okay, because you
Yeah.
might love. Yeah, okay, fair
Isn't
play.
that? It doesn't go without saying.
Yeah.
Well, but he might not. I mean, for me, yeah, with someone like Luca and that, I could see Michael Owen being enough to make him not.
And are you the same as well? Like it wouldn't. You're saying it wouldn't impact your.
It wouldn't impact. It wouldn't impact it. No. Like I said, it'll be a bonus. I get to meet your father. Whatnot. But is it the reason why I'm here? Am I gonna treat you differently because of who your dad is? Do you have more leverage now to do what the fuck you want because you know that I like your dad or whatever? Nah, not for me.
Okay.
Not for
I'm
me.
choosing. I'm choosing.
My
Oh, sorry.
opinion, I would definitely look to basically make sure it's sweet all the time.
Fake
Do you know?
ass.
I'm respecting that what you guys said is what you mean,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna leave it at that. That's it.
Because the second
Um,
she clocks, then you're gonna start trying to do all this extra stuff, and it's not even, I don't even love you. I love your dad. It's gonna grate on me, man. It's not gonna
I
work.
said, I can't have anyone feeling like they have power over me. Sorry. So after we've spoken about have we just not Isatu? No, not Isatu. That's my girl, Ekin-Su.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry. With Ekin-Su, have we spoken about the fact that she doesn't like Charlie and that she's playing with going back to Davido? And
I don't believe that little.
I don't believe it at all.
back and forth.
I think they're both bored.
Yeah, I
I
think.
think David is very arrogant. This one now.
Yeah, he is, and it's not
David
great
is
viewing.
super duper like arrogant, isn't it?
Yeah, like,
it's actually too
100%.
much.
It was when he kissed Danica and said, "Yeah, I gave that to her."
Yeah.
Like, no offense, I can see that objectively, like he could be in some books or whatever.
Yeah.
That's good looking at, but he doesn't tickle my fancy. So
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this as like you're doing the most.
Yeah.
Like, it's relax.
Yeah.
Who else is in the house?
Um,
Did we deal with Tasha and the fact that she cries unprovoked and all that?
Yeah,
We dealt with her.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't feel like we
Um,
flogged her, but
India and Dami
We
went.
didn't flog her enough.
no, we didn't. But it's
India
fine.
and Dami went on a date. No,
That's super cute, man. Did you see they have a
Yes.
handshake?
nice little cute date.
Do you know what it is?
It's
This
so
is
cute.
what happens. No, I'm not gonna say don't force things in it because sometimes you gotta put effort
No, don't
in.
force things.
But like, I feel like Dami is the reason why this works so much because Dami is so willing to free up feelings and give her attention
Yeah,
and be like,
Is it genuine?
we'll deal with that later. But for me
Oh, was
personally,
it?
I think
You
he's into
don't
her.
think genuine?
I think it is. I think he's into
I think
her.
it is, but I
If
think
his head got
Casamore's
turned
gonna-
in Casa Amor, are you vilifying him?
No.
If he's
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
the
on this
biggest
show.
plot twist is if Dami's head gets turned. That's the biggest gonna be the biggest.
Why would
one.
that be the
If
biggest
India's
plot twist?
staying
Because he's mad
faithful,
into her right now.
if India's staying faithful,
Yeah, but
but
he's
Dami's
Mm.
flexing with another thing, what's the energy
Wait,
for
do
Dami?
you know?
Alert! Dami is Nigerian. Like,
Yeah.
just alert. They put energy in.
I feel like it's easy. I feel like his head's gonna get turned in Casa Amor.
Well, this is the only girl that's.
Do you know what?
For
I would have
sure.
fought him if his head turns in Casamore because I think that you can come back and undo it. Because I think when you go to Casamore, you genuinely don't know what's going on the other side.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a game of what if he thinks I'm doing something and what if she thinks I'm doing something and so you do something. But then when you get back, you can. I think you can take it back.
Me personally,
I would understand that.
Yeah, but doing something because you think the other person doing something is a bullshit reason.
It's not in Love Island. Because I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, but you should do it because you want to do it, not because I think you're doing it. So
It's,
let me do it
sorry,
too
there's 50K on
to
the
cover
line
my
and
end.
deals. No, I'm definitely doing it I'm definitely acting when I go in there.
Tit for tat happening.
I feel
Yes,
like
in Love Island, I'm gonna tit the tat.
I feel
Always.
like I would be happy if not happy, but I would feel more comfortable. I'd be able to sleep at night if both of their heads get turned. Because I think everyone's
Yeah.
putting it past India.
One person can't.
Let one source. No, but I don't think India will leave Dami. I think she would
I think-
chapter my
I
man.
think,
she
I
can.
think put in one saucy London youth who's got everything. India's gonna be,
I'm
Because you know,
gagging
because
for
you know, it's
hello.
like with India, yeah. Sometimes, sometimes we want nice guys or whatever, yeah. But you can always tell when a guy's niceness is, he needs a little, not stand up, but
Edge, little edge.
stand up.
Do you know what it is? She hasn't slept with Dami.
What would?
I think, that after she sleeps with Dami, she would be super more into him. Like, I think that's
Really?
when
I don't
I
think
think
so.
personally I think so, 100%.
No, I don't think so.
100%. Right now, all of this is nice gestures. I think after she sleeps with him, she'll be a lot more committed. Right
I
now,
don't think she'd want to sleep with him.
no, she's not gonna sleep
What,
with him in
at
the
all?
house.
I don't think. No, I mean, like, I don't.
You
I don't
she
think
said?
she's. I think she's attracted to him.
Mhm.
But I don't think she's. I don't think she gets fanny flutters.
Why is that?
I hear it.
Because I don't think that he's
Do I?
as much as like he's not the. If he was out, it was outside world. He's not the guy she's going for. I don't think that because you know what it is? She needs a little bit of toxic keep me on my toes, and he's not giving. He's very affectionate, very loving, very nice, and
Yeah.
he complimented her. She complimented him back. He was like, no, it's about you. You're beautiful.
You think it's too much for her?
I think it's gonna be. I think it's sweet and cute now, but I think give them another week. I think it's gonna
And
be like
someone
a not
saucy.
ick thing, but just
Yeah, because girls
he's
don't
not
really like that, do
giving
they?
that.
Girls don't like guys who are girls like guys who are nice, but they don't like guys who are too
Too
nice,
nice.
every single
You
moment
need a
of
guy
the day.
to keep you on your toes a
Like,
little bit.
allow
Aren't
it,
you
man.
tired
And that's
of
what she's
being on
saying.
your toes?
No, but that's what she's saying.
Sometimes
With
stand
Kenna that
flat.
long. Because Kenna was like, I'm interested in you. Hold that. Like that should keep you
Yeah.
until next week again when I tell you the same
But
thing.
he
Yeah.
didn't like her.
Do you get me? He didn't like her, but
Yeah.
but then she kept saying, "Oh, let's see." But
But that's
Maybe
because she
she
should
should've
have
left
left
ages ago.
options. Her whole thing of striving and dying on that kind of hill mountainside was because she wanted to stay in the house. It
Yeah.
wasn't because she was feeding off she was trying to make it not boring for herself. Do you know what I mean?
I guess.
Dami makes it interesting. It's always nice to have somebody like you. The thing about Dami, I think Dami can show you that much affection and you not be in his heart. Like, I think he just might be into you kind of thing. This is all very still surface level in my opinion.
Actually, I'm saying that, yeah. I think he likes her, but I don't think
I don't
it's
think
like,
I don't think it's
I don't think it's like,
yeah.
oh, Morning Empress kind of liking.
Listen, morning.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like he's acting. He's
been
what's the word? He's adding a bit more
Flavor.
to it.
Are we surprised?
That's what I'm saying.
by this?
Everyone's an actress. I don't know why Ekin is the one getting the because you know when I think about it, so go back to Tasha.
Because you know why? Because her acting's bad. It's too obvious.
I guess that's
Yeah.
true. Actually,
Okay, that's a good
because
point.
really true. Tasha's doing the same
The
thing.
oracle's oracling. Yeah, I hear that
There you
still.
She should have oracled earlier. But Tasha's doing the same thing that she was rolling her eyes and telling Ekin off for.
Can we
Instead of keeping the options open.
Can we just say she watched? So you know how like Tasha crumbled because the guys weren't her friends.
Yeah.
Ekin has been fighting that battle
That
for the
hill
last
alone.
3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Whether she deserves it or not. I don't remember the cameras catching Tasha doing up sister for Ekinsu. When everybody was trying to her, do you know the person she went to go talk to? Was Ekinsu.
And that's why I said to you guys, she's always there for everyone else, but no one's there for her.
If she's a
He's
villain,
a good friend, man.
leave her outside. But you can't be pulling her in when you want to benefit from her and then pushing her outside again, man. It's giving you're the real villain at this point.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really cool? Her family is so cute. They were on After Sun. Her mum is super cute. And her brother was there, very good looking guy. And he was saying, he was like, oh yeah, like I see the tweets and blah, blah, blah. But she's here to stay. So that's your own.
Who? Ekansu?
Her brother, yeah.
Oh.
And then, what's her name? Laura? Laura asked her mum or her family if Eki was like, oh, because basically Eki is basically, it looks like she's in the center of the drama today. I don't think so. I think it's just camera angles and whatever. But Laura was like, so it looks like Ekin is back again in the drama mix, blah, blah. So she was like to her family, like, does Ekin ever like not talk? Like be quiet kind of thing? And the mum was like, funny enough, he's very quiet in our house. I was like, yes, auntie, you defend your daughter. Don't talk about my child like that. The heck? But yeah, it looks as if some drama today.
There's 2 things left. Paige and the way, so I don't know if you guys know this, but Paige loves Jacquees. She's into Giacomo fully, but she is entertaining Jay. Jay is boring, but so is Paige slyly. Like they don't really have chat. She really likes.
Boring,
do you know she fell asleep holding Jacko's hands whilst in bed with Jay? So Jay's kind of like is a bit shit.
I push out a bitch.
You want to push everybody down some kind of hole, but like Jay, just like is a bit shit. Jay has this idea in his head that if he gave Paige attention at the beginning, it would be a very different love story.
But shoulda, coulda, woulda, you didn't, big man. Just move on.
And also, you're both boring. I think you both would have bored each other to death.
Do you see when he said that she's probably gonna? He said, yeah, if time goes on, she's gonna love his sense of humor.
You ain't rating him at all.
You ain't got none.
Do you know what he said? She said, yeah. The thing about you, I like the fact that you're not into clothes and you're not flashy.
Oh,
he
when
said,
she's dressed like Offset, what she bloody said so.
Hold on. Paige said that to Jay.
Paige, she said that to Jay whilst wearing the pearl ensemble, and then he was like, what are you talking about? Like, obviously he took it as a joke, but he was like, look at the clothes I'm wearing.
Man said, look at this swag,
look at this swag.
This white tee
It's
and
mad
camel shorts.
Because Paige doesn't realize that she too is boring. She thinks, and the thing's like Paige just needs to be honest, and she knows she's being a bit on the side of wrong in terms of not just saying that to Jay. She's like, bro, I like Jack, and I'm gonna stay with Jack, and she's kissing him in front of Jay. She's doing everything, but then she's telling Jay she's open to getting to know him. And
so it was a bit awkward for Jay, to be honest.
So with that Jack calling her out of the bed, was that from Sunday or was that tonight?
No, that was last night. So basically, what the story was, he basically called out. He's looking all sad and victim-y in his bed. Called her out of bed. So she looks like she was sleeping, and he opened her eyes and she sees him just staring at her. And he was like, and then he called her out of bed. But you know what's so funny, yeah? It's actually become a meme, yeah. This person Danica's carrying last. Because basically, when he's looking at Paige to get out of bed, yeah, you see that Danica, you know the Molly May meme?
No.
Have you seen it where she's like looking like this when they're talking about her?
Yeah.
That's what basically Danica's doing in bed. So Danica, he calls Paige out of bed, but Danica's like this, kind of like under the covers. I said, girl, just close your eyes and sleep. But anyways, they call each other out of bed, whatever. They go to the stairways. He's basically, and I didn't want to tell you about this because I really wanted to talk about it on the show. He was like, it's very hard for him to show emotions. Like, yeah, of course I care about you, but I don't want to say it. She was like, oh my gosh, she's going to cry so much.
Word of affirmation babes are in the bin.
In the bin.
Like word of affirmation. If your love language is words of affirmation, and don't worry, I see you, sis. We see each other. Change it.
Change your ways.
Anybody can talk.
Make it money.
Like it doesn't. Anybody can talk. Like stop it. Like really,
he
stop it.
He was talking a quote, and she was.
He
basically said to her, "Yeah, I can't tell you how I feel. I can't tell you that I really care and I like you." She's like, what's the worst that could happen if you do that, Jax? And he's just like, I'm just not used to like expressing my feelings, blah, blah, blah. It's hard for me. She's like, yeah, but like, I obviously care about you and this is going to be fine and blah, blah. She's like, just be honest with me. Just let me know that you care. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Can I ask a question to the fellas?
Sickening behavior.
I'm even calling 999 now. I'm rattled. All right, cool. Listen, when a guy like, okay, what is Jack? If I throw this iPad.
Get it together, sis.
What? Yeah. Yeah. So what is Jack doing? Does he like her?
No.
Esther.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm asking the penis people.
PTSD, I'm sorry.
Does he
penis
like
people.
her? to give, or if there's a possibility, give me the rating.
I think the silence is definitely impressive.
I think he likes her.
I think he likes her, and I think
you guys are
he's
lying.
more afraid to lose her.
Why?
Why?
What's at stake here? His ego.
His place in the house. His
Okay.
whole.
I'm talking about genuine like.
Doesn't genuinely like her then?
Obviously, I feel look, they're all playing a game, innit? And once they get to a certain point, like you've got to like lay your cards out on the table, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Castle Moore is the last little roll of the dice, but before then, like you said, if you want to be in, it's him and Paige, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's gonna be him and Paige to the end of the show, unless something happens in Castle Moore. So he knows that, innit? So you got to secure your.
Yeah.
I'm
shit.
hearing you.
So I'm not saying he doesn't like her, but
Okay.
obviously he's doubling that. He's patterning in it, like he's securing it.
So he don't like her.
He does like her.
But not enough.
No, but like he doesn't like her genuine. So you see the way Paige
All
likes
the extra
him.
shit that he's doing, he knows that she's gonna like lap that up. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know I'm upset. Oh, I'm not.
He's doing enough to
I've
secure,
never-
but not doing enough to treat
I
her.
was
don't
so
feel that. I've never felt
disgusted.
like this. Oh, I'm not. Why should I? I don't know. I don't want to tell you. Why
Have
should I
you
want to tell
said?
you? Like,
Have you
he's
guys
doing-
ever used that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, girls love all that shit. No, I'm not like in those exact lines, but those techniques.
Do you know what he said?
So
I've never.
techniques.
You did. We heard that you were silent over there, Mr.
Listen,
By the way.
leave
No,
him.
no,
Watch.
I don't do the kind of things.
Do you know what? Okay,
I'm very expressive. I am.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
that's
believe you
great.
still.
that's great. Do you know what he said? He said, "I've never cared for anyone like this before. I've never felt this before."
Mhm.
I never buy that line on the show.
You're
you know.
in the house with your
Never.
ex.
Listen, he said that I never thought I'd find a best friend. I found a best
I found
friend.
him Paige.
But you
Sickening.
can't tell her. You want to tell us, but you can't tell her. My thing is, yeah, you know the whole playing game thing? Cool, win it. A lot of people are going to hell, that's fine. But my question is, yeah, we all know that Paige actually likes him. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
She's
Paige
she's
actually
in
likes
love with him.
She
She
think
loves
she
him.
forgot that the cameras are
I
there.
think she loves him.
She just, even...
You don't think she loves him?
Love, like real love. Like,
Oh,
real
love. I didn't hear all of that.
I think she loves him.
I think she
Mary J.
could.
Blige, like, I'm
I think-
talking.
Because do you
no.
see?
I think if
Do
you
you see how
applied pressure, she would be there.
Do you see how quickly she jumped out of bed with Jay? Yeah, she's all hugging him. Like
She didn't even
when I tell you,
have
she
to wake
wants
up.
to enter his skin.
Yeah.
She wants to
Yeah,
live in him.
lust.
I think it's love. Because unfortunately, she's a gullible girl. She's a girl who,
Oh, man.
I hate to say that. I hate to say it, but
Make
she is
my
the kind of
whip
girl
tight.
that guys can easily take advantage of.
Oh.
Because she's too quick to catch feelings. She looks like a quick 2-week babe and she catches feelings.
And can I ask, she's a paramedic.
Oh,
Is
dear.
that the job that she
I
does?
think
Is
so.
she?
I can't remember.
She's a paramedic. She's a pretty girl and all of that. But do you know what's missing?
That's telling.
She don't put a price on herself, man.
Yes.
She has
I think
more-
she loves
the
him.
price she has on herself is whatever you give it. Do you know she's not even like a solid product. She's like an auction. What do you want to pay?
Do you know what I think? Yeah,
It's
I think
tiring, bro.
when Casamore happens,
Mm.
Jax is obviously going to move on. I feel like she's going to wait. She's going to
it's
wait for
good
him.
actually. She'll have
He's
to
going to come in with a new girl,
Yeah.
and the pain is going to be so much for her. She's going to quit the show. I can see her.
I won't let her quit.
That sounds realistic, you know.
I
Not that she'll quit, but that
No, she'll
Jack-
quit.
I don't
Because
want
you know what it is?
another girl
Do
for sure.
you know why I say so? Because
Nah.
I've seen this. I've seen this in Amy. Speaking of Amy, yeah, Curtis is Andrew. They're the same people. I just think Curtis had surgery and came up as Andrew, personally. But with this is exactly how we went
No,
with
but Amy
Amy
is a
and Curtis.
psychopath.
Yeah, Amy was a lot. Amy wasn't.
Curtis didn't do nothing wrong.
What did she do?
Amy's the blonde woman, isn't it?
Yeah, but what-
the
why
one
is she
that
psycho?
cried.
She
So,
done
I
a
fucking
lot.
loved you.
She done a lot. I was coming back here saying I loved you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and there was no love there. I fucking loved you.
No,
What,
but
he
you know
didn't
what?
No, but that was
like,
another
what?
thing. When he said,
She's a
that
mad
he rather
woman.
make
No, but they
coffee
were
in
as
the
like-
morning.
Sorry, but you know how mad that is?
She said, do you know, they were shouting, I wish we knew the lines, yeah. We need to play this out, yeah. She said to him, yeah, that why don't you want to hug me in the
She's
morning?
like,
Why
yeah,
don't you
everyone
wanna
else stays in bed and they hug and get
I said,
cuddles.
because I want to make sure that everybody gets coffee in the morning. Are you okay?
You know what? I saw that as a little. I didn't watch that series, but I saw it as a little clip
Bro.
online.
And he
She
meant
said,
Yeah, that's funny
it.
story.
Why don't you cuddle me?
I saw
He
that,
wasn't
He
feeling her
said,
like
I
that
want
though.
to
But
be
he
the
didn't say
person.
that.
To make
He
everyone
said,
confident. Yeah, I
I
saw
want
that
to be
clip.
the person that wakes up in the morning and makes everyone,
Everyone a
coffee.
coffee.
Yeah, no, in that moment, that's what he said. But I'm saying, in general, she wasn't feeling her like that
Yeah.
anyway.
But
Like,
you know
she's
what, though?
crazy.
No, but you know what though? I'll be honest with you. Did you watch the full
He kind of
season?
led
Yes.
her. But he
Because
kind of,
he led her on.
yeah, he did. He did.
And you know, he led
He
her
was
on.
moving
Yeah.
like husbands.
And they loved the whole parent thing. They
Yes.
they literally lived in
Yeah.
it in terms of being the mum and the dad of
Iconic
the
couple.
thingy. He knew what he was doing.
Iconic
He
couple.
knew exactly what he was
And
doing.
it ends up with more.
And that's why I feel like exactly what a plot
Sir.
twist. But I think that's why I
What a
feel
great
like it's
season.
reminding me the way Paige is moving is reminding me of Amy in terms of like Jax showed a bit of attention. Quickly, she just threw everything away.
Yeah.
Because what's his name?
Mm.
Charlie, is it Charlie that likes her now? No, Jay. Jay's not the first guy that was interested in her.
Mm-hmm.
There's been other guys, but she's
She
very
had a
quickly.
meaty start. She had a meaty start, to be
Yeah,
fair.
she did.
She
But
had a
there's
very
been
meaty
other.
start.
I can't remember who it is, but someone else was interested in her.
Mm.
Remy was interested in her, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was. There's been, I think Davido was interested in her as well, but she's been quick to throw guys away because of Jax, and that was so early on. That girl loves him, man.
She loves the nonchalant. He's gonna treat me special just because it's me, guy.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is like, if someone likes you, usually they show or say it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I feel like with her, he can't even say the words properly. Like he's never had a straight sentence of just I fuck with you, Paige. Like, and she's just anyway, guys. Somebody who's not on the show, Remy.
Yeah.
You wanted to speak about that. Remy
Yeah.
and Afia have been they're
Little
making their
tour.
coins
Done a
from
tour.
this.
Yeah.
But he spoke about the
I think
bullying
Remy
things
should
that
come
we're
Yeah,
jumping into.
so he was saying how his experience on Love Island was ruined because him and Jax kept having arguments,
Yeah.
basically, and obviously they didn't show that on the show. It got cut out, and that him and Jax kept going back and forth, ruined his time there,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what he was saying.
I feel like
Okay.
Jack seems like he has like the lay of the land, even though he
Yeah.
wasn't like one of the early people in the house.
Yeah.
I can definitely because I think he even rubbed Jay off the wrong way. But
Yeah, initially.
I think if you don't have like a witty tongue and you're not like more popular, it's
Yeah.
hard to like assert yourself
Yeah.
in that. Even I feel like even Lucas kind of fall in line, being his best friend or he's like
yeah,
be Queen B or Person B,
Mm.
whatever. So that's a bit shit. But he also spoke about why, because he flopped when he went into the house when he was rapping.
Mm.
But apparently on Love Island after
He flopped again.
Son.
he flopped again.
Yeah.
And he was just like the reverb from the, but he was like, it's so mad because when he's walking down the road, people just come up to him and be like, do you want to lighten the mood with a rap? And like, and stuff like that. And I just think
Oh, that's so nice.
that's really, I think it's really, really, really shit.
you should don't. I
Like,
think it
so-
don't. Even when
And he said, can you believe people come to my face and actually say that? So,
you know when
Sorry, it's just-
when Jax initially asked him to rap,
yeah.
I was like, why did you rap for him? Like,
Yeah.
I think because nerves maybe he was new.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm rapping
And-
for
And I
you.
think, he looks like a bit of a shy guy.
do you know what? He's someone whose looks will, if he didn't speak and he just stood there, just his face, you would think he's super confident. But you can
Yeah.
tell he's
He's
actually quite
shy.
soft soul and he's a bit.
He's got
Shy.
a hell of confidence. Ain't you seen his dancing tutorials?
I don't think. Stop it
Please.
right
What?
now.
No.
Stop.
Okay. I'm just saying.
no, he has confidence to a degree. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing
He's
that.
got. He's
I think that's the-
super
I
confident.
think that's one of the methods to be more confident.
What?
What to dance?
No.
Your fears away.
No.
No, because they do that.
No.
No, I think that sometimes
Have you seen the video?
No, do you know, I've definitely seen it, and I'm trying to keep composure because that is the funniest shit I ever saw. But I think that sometimes you challenge yourself to do things, put yourself a bit more out there, and be a bit more confident. And I think that was one of his things in terms of putting himself a bit more out there. I'm not looking at mugs anymore. To be a
Don't
bit
look at
more
me,
out
bro.
there.
Close your
Oh,
eyes.
dear.
I don't think watching
He's so
the
good at
video.
you.
He's rating his
Do you know what
moves.
it is? Do you know what it is? I think sometimes
I thought it
something
was
in your
cute.
circle is wavy, but then when you go to the outer world, it's
Nah,
like
Remy is cute.
no, Remy is
cute.
Remy is. Remember what I said into the group? Like that's you gotta ride with your man. But I feel like sometimes things just don't land. I remember
Yeah.
that the Love Island audience is bigger than your side of the internet or your side
I
of
want him to look
TikTok.
into music properly though.
I think what he needs to do, he needs to just not let this put him down. He needs to keep
I don't think he
rapping,
will, you know.
keep dancing,
Yeah.
and just have a comeback in it. That's it.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going because otherwise you're gonna be the guy that let people push you out your position, and you
Yeah.
can't have that. But guys,
did you see the preview? Sorry, preview for tomorrow.
no, tell me, what did I miss?
What had happened was somebody. So basically, Gemma is there.
Mhm.
She's angry, but she's talking to Dami and Ekin too. I know people are trying to play in the whole Ekin is the villain again, but I think it's actually directed at Dami, and I know she ain't raising her voice at black men like that. Basically, she's like, someone has basically gone and told Luca that she said, what did she say again? Something like, she's kind of along the lines of some. I can't remember the exact quote now. It's so annoying, but like she's open to know someone else or something like that.
Mm.
Or basically like he's here for a good time, not a long time. That kind of
What that
something like
Luca
that.
said that, or that she
no,
said
that she said that, but they
Okay.
reported back to Luca
Mhm.
that she said this.
Mhm.
And you know how Luca gets in his feelings and starts to cry and all that kind of this does.
Mm.
So then Dami's like, yeah, but if it's not true, he pressed about it. And then she's kind of angry. She's like, yeah, but you can't tell me, you can't go and tell someone something that I said and then be annoyed that I'm angry about it, basically. But then Ekin was like, yeah, but you're saying it's not true. So why are you so angry about it? She's like, don't tell me not to get angry about it, blah, blah. So I reckon that Dami, oh yeah, and no. And then she says, why didn't you just mind your business? Just shut up.
To whom since she said that to? Because my
I
offer
think-
the
I think-
email.
I think
like
she
it was to
she's
Dami.
talking- No, I think it was Ekin Su she was talking to. Remember, the camera kept showing Ekin Su's reactions to what she was saying.
But the
Yeah, but you
camera
know what, it's like-
misleads you on purpose. Though.
Yes. Because the way it was, Dami looked more engaged in the conversation. And then she only addressed Ekin when Ekin said, if it's not true, then why are you getting so hot and bothered about
But
it?
you
if it's
would
not
get
true?
annoyed if someone lied on you though.
Yeah, but I just had to know if it's a lie.
I don't know.
But
I
yeah,
can't see Gemma piping up to Dami in that way.
I can.
Because Dami hasn't done anything to
I
me
can see her
more than that.
piping up to the owner of the show because her dad is Mike Owen.
Like, I feel like Dami's got good credit with Gemma.
No, but do you know what it is though? I think Dami talks too much. And when she says shut up,
Dami is
yeah,
active. He's
a
active.
chatty patty
The
and-
producers love him because
Yeah.
he will make sure
He's
that the
always
news
talking
travel.
people's business.
He's the news.
he's a town crier. He's actually a town crier.
Yeah, I
So
heard that.
that's what I think is. Yeah. That's what I think it was at him because she's like, why don't you just shut up and stop talking about people's business and stay out of everyone's business. And out of the two of them, Ekin and Dami,
Yeah,
Dami's been the one in everybody's
Dami's
business.
All right, let's take a bet. I'm saying second Sushi's talking to you.
I think it's Dami.
All right,
All right.
Also, the streets are saying, from the After Sun, whatever, streets are saying that Amber and Ikenna are,
a couple.
no, they're sexing.
Oh,
Because their body
Makes
language,
sense.
everything, everyone's like, these two have
Makes
definitely smashed.
Who cares,
That
man?
tragedy revenge.
Who cares? You lot should have done it in the house. Now you're just fucking for free. Anyway.
Well,
That's the end of Madrid. Not Madrid. That's the end of Love Island. The day after, we'll be back tomorrow to tell you if it was Ekansu or Dami. Well, let's go. Seriously. Yo, beautiful people, all right? Well, let's jump into the financial headlines. So, Barclays to hunt down the 1 billion COVID crooks. Barclays Bank is drafting in a crack squad of fraudbusters to claw back up to 1 billion of COVID loans that have been siphoned off by criminals. The high street lender issued 345,000 plus loans worth 10.8 billion to small firms under the government bounce back loan scheme at the height of the pandemic. They were fully guaranteed by the Treasury so that banks were not exposed to excessive risk. However, this has left the taxpayer on the hook for potentially huge losses from borrowers who are either fraudulent or genuinely cannot pay. The Treasury encouraged banks to loosen normal checks to ensure financial help could be distributed quickly to prevent otherwise healthy firms going under during lockdown. But there are mounting fears that a large number of these loans will never be repaid. It is estimated that bogus borrowers may have got their hands on up to 5 billion of the total 47 billion issued by all the banks that participated in the scheme. City sources told the Mail on Sunday that other banks are likely to be mulling similar plans. So someone's chopping.
Everyone's chopping. Didn't you not get none of that money?
Can I be honest?
No. Go on. Whenever you guys say, can I be honest, I just...
No, it's I never I'm part of these paydays. I know it's criminal, but I'm just saying, how do you even get into these things? Do you have to know somebody? I don't want to, but I'm just saying, like, how some people
Hypothetically, if I wanted to, how does it go about that?
If I wanted to start my own New Black, like how how do you get it? It's just friends, like
It's a government scheme that's open to the public. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, you just have to have a business.
so like so if I
You have to have a business which was, I think, 3 years old, something like that.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah.
No, even if that, you didn't even need that. You could have put fraudulent information in. There was
true.
a very lax time. Anyway, you don't need to. You just go and take the money. You can go and get a loan from someone now if you wanted to. It's up to you whether you decide to pay it back or not. You don't need to be a criminal mastermind to go and get money from people.
I know, but if you don't pay it back, there's consequences, no? Okay. Well, guys, this is obviously not what we're advertising. We're just exploring both sides of the fence. All right, then. And defiant Boris warns Tory rebels he will seek a third term as Prime Minister and vows to lead his party into the mid-2030s.
You're so funny.
Man said, I'm not leaving. Okay, so Boris Johnson last night goaded his Tory critics by vowing to seek a third term as Prime Minister and lead his party into the mid-2030s. Quick question, can you have 3 terms? I thought you can only have 2 max.
That must be in America.
Yeah, I thought it was 2.
In England.
Oh,
must
wow,
be
okay,
different.
cool. As plotting by ministers, MPs and party donors intensifies in the wake of the PM's drubbing in 2 by-elections on Thursday, Mr. Johnson said he was thinking actively about a third term in office, potentially taking him past Margaret Thatcher's 11 years in Downing Street. His defiance came as one of the candidates to succeed him told the Mail on Sunday that they expected the PM to face a challenge within weeks or even days. Mr. Johnson insisted to reporters at the Commonwealth Summit in Rwanda that questions of his leadership were settled after he won a vote of confidence earlier this month and pledged he would not undergo any psychological transformation in order to win over unsupportive MPs. All right, man said I'm me and I'm sticking with me.
Mhm.
That's that. Well, guys, anyway, that's the news. Let's head over to Out Ere.
Well, today's recipient. What's the name? Is that what it's called? Recipient of Done Out Here is cancer faker Nicole El-Kabas. Nicole El-Kabas, is that what it is? She set up a fundraiser. She set up a GoFundMe saying that she needed treatment for cancer after she got given the all clear by the doctors, and she raised over £45,000 from well wishers and just good people. Yeah, she spent the money. She spent the money on all sorts, on funding gambling habits, just luxurious lifestyle, her love for Tottenham Hotspur. She bought a luxury box to go watch a game for £3,500. Yeah, and this is what she done. She served jail time, yeah? She served jail time. She served 2 years, and she got 2 years and 9 months. Probably had to do half of it. That's what she got found guilty of fraud. But she was only ordered to pay back £5 of the £45,000 that she got. So did she win or did she lose?
It's
I think she won.
She won. Is £45,000 enough to go to prison for what? How long should you go for?
Let's say call it 18 months.
Is that enough?
Can I just say it depends? I don't feel like she's earning that much.
Fair trade.
I feel like if she's earning like 22k, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of feel like she got off on this one still. I feel like she got off on this.
I can't lie. If I go to prison for this, I don't want to pay the £5 because I went to prison.
Oh, you don't want to pay the £5?
No.
So you don't want to pay back nothing that you defrauded all these
Is
people?
this £5 though?
No, because
She said
basically I
I've already
think
served my time.
what the court is doing, you pick one. Either go to prison or give you the money back.
Not us telling the judge how to judge.
And you can't make me go to prison for 2 years. Then I come back and
could've
make
been
me
longer.
£5.
Well, because
I need the £5.
it's a criminal case, yeah? So your fraud is what you're going to get the criminal case for. The payback is the civil case. It's two separate issues.
Okay, well £5 is good then.
That's £5. That's £5, mate.
Yeah.
You want to see the picture that she used for her GoFundMe? Look
That's
at this.
crazy, you know.
Look at this. She's on the bed here, yeah? She's moving like she's down bad. This was just like this was like gallstones or something like
Gallbladder.
that.
Let me see.
This is the
Operation.
gallbladder thing. She was getting the lightest surgery here in this picture here. She's moving like she was about to fall out. She is a wicked, wicked
Oh
woman.
man.
Manipulating the good people. But this is why I don't give any money for GoFundMes and thing. Because
But
you just can't
that's
trust.
what's sad. This is
You just
what's
can't
sad about
trust.
it.
No, honestly, you can't trust. There's people like this is messing up society because I'd be what's the word? Charitable, philanthropic, or whatever it's called. I'll give, but you can't trust people. You know what I'm trying to say?
What do you call it?
No, just left it. He said, "Don't make a scene."
What if, okay, does it make it better if, for example, she raised what, £45,000,
It's
right?
going bad.
What if it was spread out so much that it was like £5 per head? Is it that bad then? Because you've only lost like £5,
Yeah,
£5. We ain't gonna cry in our beds that we gave someone £5, right? Obviously, she's accumulated a mass of money from bare people, innit? Does it make the crime? Is it worse or less than your
Yeah,
eyes?
like will
It's
people
worse,
care
it
if
doesn't
she only
matter.
got £100?
What's that?
I think
If
it's
she only got
principle.
£50 or £100, will people really be upset?
What per?
No, say like all the money she raised was £100.
Yeah, of course no one care
Yeah,
about
but there's
that.
people going through stuff. So even if she got £100, like she's lying. She's talking
Yeah.
about she got to do this major
And it's
surgery.
cancer, man.
She got all these cycles of chemotherapy to go
Yeah.
through. She needs these wonder drugs.
Do you know the
So
medicine?
even if it didn't work and you're still lying, you're still like pissing in the face of people with serious issues.
mad.
You know
But
what
do you know
I'm
what's
trying to say?
mad?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
actually was. Is it in remission? Is that the term you use?
Yeah, remission when you're...
When you are given all clear with cancer.
Yeah.
Like instead of her to be jubilant on that, she thought. I mean, like, I just think.
Did she actually have cancer at one point?
Yeah. Isn't that what
No, it
you
was a
said?
gallbladder infection.
I'm seeing that. Why would she be?
Oh, she didn't have
It was
cancer at all.
yeah, she just had a gallbladder operation.
No, but she was. There must be some reason why she was
didn't he
thinking.
say? I swear he said that.
Okay, yeah. She had been given the all clear from cancer by doctors days before the fundraiser was set up. So I think maybe she thought she did have cancer, but they said, okay, here we go. So, yeah. I think she thought she might need the money for the
She's just the
treatment.
opportunist. So I'm guessing she was going to the doctors for serious stuff in the first place.
No, yeah. So basically, I think they thought she had cancer.
Yeah.
But then she got all clear.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if she had set it up in between getting it all clear, then it makes sense.
She didn't
But she
set
set
up
up
till
after.
after.
Yeah.
she got
Oh no, I'm
clear.
not saying she's innocent.
No,
at
no, no,
all.
no, no, I'm
But
making it
saying
clear myself.
you thought you had cancer or you did have cancer and then you were given the all clear.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Yeah.
That's a big win.
She said, guess
But
what? I
you
can get a
said-
bigger win.
She said, I want a bigger one. That's crazy. But I do feel like she got away with it. I know people are saying
Oh, no, she definitely did.
She definitely got away with it, in my opinion.
She definitely did. She got very because ideally she should pay the money back.
Well, they investigated her as well.
Mm.
And they're saying that they calculated that they probed all her accounts, all of these stuff. They're saying due to her criminal exploits, they reckon she made a total of £360,000.
Oh, okay, now it's different. 300 what?
So I think it was the 45 bags of that one GoFundMe thing. But I'm saying when they're
This
looking,
is not her first run.
yeah, this ain't her first rodeo. When they're looking into her, like they're saying, yeah.
I didn't find out she didn't have cancer.
I don't know. She spent £60,000
Someone
on gambling
snitched, you
for
know.
the
To be
aim.
fair, through GoFundMe, I realize that people are actually nice. When I see the amount of
Yeah.
money people raise, I'm thinking,
Yeah,
wow,
people raise
people
a lot.
are very giving.
No, even when you give and it says you maybe you gave like a $5
Yeah.
and then you see the person under you gave 100.
Yeah.
And you're like, you should have put your name here, so you deserve to be applauded.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I swear you can give without putting your details, right?
Yeah,
You can
Yeah,
give anonymously,
yeah. I
What's
think
your name?
a lot of people do that.
Anonymous.
But yeah, man, so she's done that again, flog her, flog her.
Nicole, man, you're done at air, man. I wonder when this case was. I want to know if she's on
Can I
the
just let
road.
people know that she's not black? I hate when I see crime like this and I think don't be black.
Well, these other two you got in here are quite spicy too.
There's-
Give us one more.
No, we're not gonna give you one more. But
But
I
that
mean,
was, I'm not gonna lie, that might have been the weakest done I've ever heard from you before.
yeah, bro, it's a Monday, man.
No, you join him out.
No, I'm just saying, like, he was like, Nicole, you're done out here. There was no foolishness. He
Oh,
didn't say
him.
foolishness once. But yeah, fair enough.
Because it's a bit of a tricky one, really. I'm joking, there's nothing tricky about it.
As in, she got away with it.
She never got away with it. She's
Definitely got away
happy,
with it.
but the people that got frauded are not.
Yeah, that's a bit sad though, yeah.
Yeah, she just needs to be like no one ever got paid back. The people that got defrauded, so we just need to make people aware that she's a piece of shit. Basically, that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's cool,
Facts.
but she done her time.
And I don't think
She did
stop giving
sometime.
to GoFundMe's. I really don't think you should stop giving to GoFundMe's. Maybe a bit more research. Maybe I don't know. But I feel like taking away from GoFundMe, a lot of people need it, especially in America.
I think you got to like research the cause properly.
Yeah.
Like wherever you're considering giving to, just research, check these people, see if they're genuine, whatnot.
You don't remember the white kid that got like he was bullied in school and
Yeah.
he was like he was gonna kill himself. I don't actually know what the story ended in terms of him, but then people found out his parents were like, what's that special flag they have in America? It's not the
Confederates.
Yeah, they were Confederates and they had like a
And
tendency
also, I
to
think
be
I
racist and-
think it came out that they actually used him for that.
wow. And
Yeah.
people
I
sent
think they were.
their
Yeah, I
money.
think they were tricking. They basically used their child as a pawn for what they wanted.
And then like a celebrity wanted to go see him and the mom was
Yeah.
like, no, don't worry, send the money.
Yeah.
And then that's when it started to come out that the mom was being very weird. Like
she was using because he did get bullied, but she was using his story to get money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she used the child, poor
The
kid.
best thing about it is this picture. She's moving like she was on her way out. She's
I don't think it's that, but like, yes.
no, she.
I can't
used-
like the picture. Yeah, it made me realize she was committed to this.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at that and think she's gonna die.
No, but if she's telling you, if your girlfriend
yeah,
is telling me
yeah,
I
yeah.
need major
I've got cancer, you-
surgery,
yeah, yeah,
cancer,
yeah.
chemotherapy, and you see this, you look like
you
you're
feel
down bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
rude, man.
She's funny, man.
Anyway, guys, let's head to the outro. So,
True,
yo,
right?
beautiful
Erica's doing it.
people, you've been listening to your favorite host, right? I really hope everyone just stop for a second. Have you subscribed? You can't make it to the end of the show and not subscribe. That's a thief. That's unfeffery, right? So make sure you subscribe. And obviously, shout out to you guys for tuning in and follow us on our social media platforms. Make sure you comment and share all videos. And if you want to send in a voice note, and shout out to the fella that did send in a voice note because it's so nice to hear like voices.
Shout out
You
to
know
you
what
with
I
your
mean?
cute voice
It-
or whatever.
All right, Esther. All right, guys, if you want that reaction from Esther, continue to send in voice
Oh,
notes.
I thought you were gonna divert them to. That's it.
Continue to send in voice notes. I actually prefer them. Makes us feel like you guys are really in here with us.
Yeah, engaging.
Guys, like you know, we say this every time, but it's happening. Yeah, we're moving to a different platform where you'll be able to watch us every day live. as well as be able to really interact with us in a much better way than you've seen on any other platform. So stay tuned for that information. And if you want to inquire about the show or wish to feature on the show, email the team at the day after at THENEWBLXCK, blackhasax.com. Have a wonderful Monday. See you tomorrow.